Hi, everybody. It's episode 119. Peter's here. He's getting primped up. He's looking good for you guys. But quickly, sponsor shout outs, Reptilia.com for all of your testing needs. Use code Shit Happens for $5 off the crypto panel. Offers lots of tests. Stoneage ball pythons, Powerhouse ball pythons are two Pacific Northwest boys. Check them out. Venus Reptilia and Small Town Xotics deals coming up. And so is Bravo Zulu, also running a little sale. 2 more days left. And Gray Family Snakes. Thank you, all the sponsors. If you want like more specific updates, go to the show from Thursday, because this is the extra show where we get a little frisky. But now, let's bring out our man. Here's Peter.
Hello. How are you doing, Jessica?
Good, how are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, you're on vacation? Do you want to talk about Uzbekistan?
Yes, the blind spot of God. Oh my God. Yes, it's we are at the capital in Tashkent. It's one of the places that we can both come without a visa, so it's easy. And we came to visit some friends. Let's say a year ago, they decided they wanted to live here for some reason.
Is it
The
really
national,
rural? Like, is it a lot of
no,
farms
the
and stuff?
capital is developed, yes, but the rest of the, I can say the same of the interior of Portugal. People are not, how do you say? They have phones, but they are not very developed in their minds. But okay.
What a burn! Hopefully, there's no Uzbekistani people here today. But I doubt it. So it doesn't really matter. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. So, like, I guess my first question is like, how
Yep.
much does it cost for rats in Russia? Because
Very
like,
cheap, very cheap, like $1. We get them at very good price because petrol is cheap, labor is cheap, food is cheap or has been. So that situation, we have an advantage. You guys can pay what for a medium rat? Like what, $5 sometimes?
yeah, sometimes like if it's like the cheapest it's gonna be, it's like $2 to $3, but that's like
Oh,
a deal or a sale.
okay. So we at the shop it's more expensive, of course. We have a shop just around the corner where we live, and if it's about a couple mice, a couple little rats, we just go there. Usually we go to directly to the breeder, but we gotta drive like 1 hour out of the out of Moscow. So yeah, we trying to, how do you say, balance the cost, reduce the cost of production, balance the whole thing, like getting cocoa chips directly from the importer instead of at the shop. That's twice
Mhm.
as much.
Do you
So
like cocoa there? Or
it's the Chinese brand.
okay,
It's
it looks like your friends
sometimes,
are here. I don't know if you want
yep.
to.
Amel is here. Yep.
All right, thank you for
Otherwise,
coming, Peter's friends. Stick around if you want. Talk about snakes.
sometimes the quality is not very stable. It has more dirt and that fiber than the chips, but it's the, I call it the repti shit. But it, no, it's good. It's we got dry weather in the winter because it snows. It's like living in the north of North America or Canada. So moisture level is low, and we can control the moisture in the containers of the snakes that way. At least I do it. Other people do with other substrates, or they use the, oh my gosh, they use, I call it the diapers. It's an absorbent paper. Someone years ago started using it, and everybody copied the. It's not the shape of the baby. It's just a rectangular with absorbent paper. And yeah, it's if you're doing it well, if the snakes are eating, they are breathing, they are in good health, I'm okay. They are used to your husbandry conditions. Go for it. I have influence of you guys podcasts from years ago when Repti shit, sorry, came to market. So
Have you ever tried anything else like peat moss or?
in the beginning, most no, I tried that. What is it? Aspen shavings, the little wood
Mhm.
shavings. Didn't like it. I tried some bark from trees. It was, yeah, not absorbent. Didn't work very well. And then I started listening to bullshit in 2018, late 2018, and yeah, got converted. And a lot of our friends do it as well. It's a bit more of work sometimes, but it's work every 2 months or every 3 months if it's a baby in a large tub. So that works.
Was bullshit your introduction to like the American side of the hobby, or were you always watching
Yeah,
along?
yeah. There was this interview that I didn't understand. It wasn't my favorite, so I just skipped this Christopher Finton, or I didn't really heard his story. But then I understood by other comments that Sean did, and I discovered the Fat Man through there, and then it just rolled like a snowball. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're singular in many ways because, like most, I'm sure, like they have their every country has its own internal ball python market, but very few people are an international man of ball python mystery like you, but are like interested in every country's.
Situation, yeah. Like
Yeah.
you had Rob saying the situation in Southeast Asia
Mm-hmm.
when it was the three horsemen. There's the Suarez guy. I think he also had done a couple of podcasts. Ron mentioned him. So, and I would like to listen from some European guys,
Mm-hmm.
French, German, or from the Netherlands or Italy, how their thing is. As I understand, there's always you ask somebody. There's a group of guys that says the other group is they don't like them, and you know how it is tribalism.
Right.
They don't know what they're talking about, so it depends on who you ask. But you go to Morph Market, you'll see who the big breeders are. There's the time difference. There's maybe some language barrier. They're good with
Mm-hmm.
sales, texting, or with using the translator, or even on the phone. But having a long conversation on the podcast, they might not be comfortable with English. So it's a matter of trying and inviting
Have you
people.
ever thought about offering Russian subtitles to like Justin Kabelka or Miguel?
Now they can do it. YouTube, you can do it. That's what we say to like to some friends or customers. Watch this video. You can put sometimes you can put the Russian subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple mistakes. The whatever AI generator, it's not perfect, but they understand.
Yeah,
So they
I
can do it.
watched the German,
Yeah,
Austrian. I don't know. The like he's like
there's a couple good ones.
reptiles.tv or whatever. And
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
like
They have cool stuff. Yeah,
he'll do everything. So I'm like, so I'll watch him and you can have automatically generated English
yeah.
subtitles. So that's very helpful. But they're not as good as they could be. So I wonder if like we'll all communicate better if we actually like paid
Yeah.
someone to do, the most common 5 languages of subtitles or
Like
whatever.
they translated bullshit to Spanish or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, some people are not interested in podcasts. For instance, Amelia speaks
Hmm.
English or can listen and understand. We have some friends that learn how to breed quickly. You
Hmm.
take an internet course quickly, you figure it out. You watch, I don't know, Boss to You or something. That is my reference, and you figure it out. Other people, not so much. They might try to, how do you say it? Ask other people, see what they're doing, or they can read the blogs. How do you call the forums from
Hmm.
20 years ago. No, the internet browser just translates, and you can
Hmm.
read all that stuff. It's still correct. I wouldn't say out of date, but we figured out the last couple of decades standardized procedures and all that.
Hmm.
So this
Yeah.
is a common. Sorry, this is a common. There was this one person I was talking to you at backstage, talked a lot like if she was the gifted god, and it was outdated information from 2 decades ago. So she was just saying it so you can fall into that mistake.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
I just wonder for like brand promotion if we're like missing markets or whatever. Because obviously, like Miguel does a whole separate channel
yeah,
in Spanish that he records separately,
and
and
BBM
that's
as
a
well.
yeah. He does he?
Yeah,
Good.
he needs to work on it.
All right. Yeah, he's awesome too. Because we
Yep.
need obviously like different people with different interests to come in and be interested in whatever they're going to be interested in and show them why it's cool, right? Otherwise, we're just selling to each other forever.
Oh, so you look at morph market, you'll see a lot of flags, and maybe not now because it's the season is approaching, next year's season. But
Mhm.
you see Central Europe just full of flags. The UK, Netherlands, Germany, France not so much. I think they use some other platforms of theirs or Facebook groups. And
Mhm.
then towards Eastern Europe, not so much. But they're there. They're at the ham show. They're, and yeah, so everybody's getting into it. This is the new crazy stuff. Reptiles.
All right,
Yeah.
Purple Church had a question. Do you think ball pythons are the most popular pet reptile in Russia? And if yes, what is number
Mm,
two?
I would, oh yeah. Is ball pythons the most popular or geckos? S- Or colubrids, corn snakes. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Is that because it's like
Cheap
delayed?
and pretty and easy to take care. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I would say, for instance, at the reptile show here, it's not 80% ball pythons. Out of I'm just gonna make up some numbers, but you can go and check the video and estimate the number of tables. Out of 100 tables, there's half a dozen with exclusively ball pythons. If we all gather there,
Hmm.
some people might have geckos, colubrids, a carpet python or two, ball python, boa, a variety. But exclusively royals, it's minority, I would say. So we got a diversified show that I think is representative of the situation of the hobby here.
Is there something missing from shows over there that you think is looks from YouTube videos common over here?
Regulation.
Yeah.
We have minimum. That's good. Sorry for people in Florida, but yeah, we have to do veterinarian analysis for salmonella, and there are three types of salmonella, and one, how is it all go? One is always natural, present on the
Mhm.
intestinal flora of the snake, so it always comes positive, but somehow everybody passes it with flying colors. Maybe they don't.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So they don't look at the snake. They don't extract the sample themselves. So if it's your neighbor's cat poo in there, who knows?
Do you have you thought about keeping like native Russian species? Because I have
Mm,
Vladivostok
yeah,
diamonds rat snakes, and I like
no,
them a lot. You don't not
no.
interested,
I'm
or is it
trying to.
illegal?
I'm trying to specialize. No, we can. We have a friend that likes that stuff, so we
Mhm.
see at his place. Alexei, the professor, herpetolog. So, but I try to specialize just in royals. We have a couple corns, a couple milk snakes, rainbow boa because it's pretty. Someone bought it. I'm looking at her. And that's cool. It's something that I always wanted. Their colubrids are really, really pretty, but I
Mhm.
control myself, and but I don't say no, so that's cool. The, do we have people here who have a boa, a gecko? Uh, yeah. Oh, I forgot the gargoyle geckos with the red stripe. We got those. So there are people who want to collect a bearded dragon, a chameleon. It's cool, and then by influence of friends and what they see on YouTube, maybe it's social media, they want a hagus,
Mhm.
a royal python, and yeah. So we got a lot of first-time customers. We're still building our name, but it's cool. The, it's diversified, and royals are getting there. Other people join for other reasons. It's that thing that, oh, I love reptiles. So why do you have 100 snakes? Oh, I love snakes. So why are there 100 of the same species? Oh, ball pythons. But
Mhm.
it's okay. You want to focus on something. It's good. The I dedicated my time to learn how to keep them, been successful breeding. I'm still getting the hang of it. So and the numbers speak for itself. We'll get to it later. But it's cool to have a diversified show. It's for people to explore different avenues. It doesn't have to be all royals. And I think in Europe it's a bit like that as well.
Mhm. I guess we can kind of get into it because Ball Labs asks how are prices in
Yeah.
Russia compared to the U.S. or Europe?
they are very good for us. So the raw materials we use are cheaper than you guys in terms of rodents. And if you get snakes from the European side, this would be before COVID situation changed. You can sell it at Russian price. So let me see if I can. I'm gonna try and say it in a simple way as a rule of thumb, not getting too specific, so my Russian friends know the situation better. So I consider the European market and the American market on par with each other, on the same level in terms of prices, projects, availability. The There might be a project on the United States that has higher offer, or in Europe that has higher demand. Okay, it fluctuates a little bit. Would you say that a good average salary there would be $2,000-3,000 a month where you live, something like that? It's a bit too much. Okay, in
I
Germany,
think most of the people in
for
the
friends,
U.S. make
thousand.
$100 a month. Like they don't make any money. It's just a hobby. Like we have so many like,
No, no, no. I'm saying as your daily job. If you're working, wherever you work.
oh, what their 9 to 5 pays them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I guess after taxes to live, it has to be more like 3 to 5 thousand in the
No, okay.
U.S.
All right. So you can buy a pretty pied easily. All right. The paycheck snake, whatever you think is pretty at the show. So here, if I say I'm gonna round up the numbers, be a bit conservative. If you make $500, that would be an average Russian salary. You pay $500 for rent or for food on the supermarket bill to your family. You're not gonna buy a snake. Okay, so there is a group of people that can have better jobs, or if you invest in a male and a female and put your time in it, and you sell the babies, you can buy another one. So it takes a little bit of time. So it's not for everybody to invest and I was a bit conservative on my investment. I bought $200-300 snakes in the beginning, like a dozen of them. So it's always the same story. If I could go back, would I do it differently? Of course, knowing what I know now. But we love our babies. So the prices, they can be double. As a rule of thumb, let's say that is $50 per morph, single morph. Your classic spider, pastel, Mojave, lesser, the usual stuff we got out there. In Russia, it would be twice the price, double the price. It would be $100. So a double combo in Europe or the States would be $100. For us, it would get to $200. So the market is more or less like that.
Just because there's less
Yep.
breeders and more demand right this second,
Yep.
and less
So
outside import of just everything, slopping in.
no, there used to be a lot of import before COVID times. Pardon me. The I don't know. This I wasn't so experienced. I just came in 2018, and then COVID happened a couple of years later. Let's say a dozen people went to or had contacts and imported from the ham show. I did an estimate once. I can be totally wrong, but around 2,000 reptiles every year were imported to Russia, to Russia. So, bearded dragons, geckos, colubrids, boas, ball
Was
pythons,
that
something like.
legal importation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. So, and let's say that you want to import. You have the facility to house the babies. You have good social media group. You have enough followers. You could go to him or contact someone there, make the bank transfer, and you would get a lot of 100 ball pythons for $30. Let's say each one. So your single morphs, maybe double combos, or head for something post head that they don't say, and then someone buys a pair. They were siblings, and pops as Xotics on their collection 3 years later. Surprise, surprise. So that's cool. But so a hundred snakes at $30 each. That's $3,000. You gotta pay the import tax, the smuggling tax. So that's a third. So we're going on $4,000. and you can make 8 grand, 10 grand with that. You spend four, you invest 4 grand, and you could make in the next couple weeks, couple months. They fly off the shelf. It's easy
Mhm.
money. It's good. Life is hard in this country. I don't blame you if you are flipping snakes. It's okay. There is an excess of product in the European market
Mhm.
that the low end, the very low end stuff that has a bit of difficult time to find its place. Owners in pet shops or private people, and there is a demand across the border. So it's easy decision. I think I can say it now. During COVID, the borders were closed, and now with how do I say this nicely? With the international geopolitical situation,
That's good.
it's more borders are with much more stricter control. So basically, it was Ukrainian people. They went to the Ham show or to the Houghton show or to the Italian show, came back, put the snakes on the train in Kharkiv. The, okay, they put it on the train, and we would collect it on Moscow train station, and
Mhm.
the animals arrived in waves because you paid a little nice something to this
Mhm.
person, to that person on the border on the train, and we got our stuff here. So the price could be, you could import a good animal, and the price with the paying a third extra. If I buy a 300 bucks snake, I'll have to pay 100 for the import, which is pretty much your shipping cost there.
Mhm. Does anything come in the other side, like Asian species or
China, it's far away the border, and I think they don't have royal pythons, so I haven't heard much about it.
right?
Prob-
I just meant like from Malaysia or like they were
mm, there is exports from geckos from China. They are, listen. This is the reptile hobby. There are crazy people that want that rare snake from somewhere. They
right,
find a,
right.
40 years ago they found a way to do it. I'm sure they do it now as well if they need. But the common stuff came from Europe. So I would say that from looking at morph market, you know that list with all the morphs that has the number. There's like 200 morphs of ball pythons. I would say easily we have 100 of them. The 100 classic ones. The,
Is there something
some
you want that you don't have yet? You're like,
No,
ooh,
I'm
I
calm.
love it.
I'm calm like that. I understand the addiction. You buy something, it's a spike of happiness, and then it goes down. Then you want to buy more, and so I got cool with it. Then Olga came into the game a couple years ago. So then I look at we look at our collection, and I see half my half and her half. So that's
Mhm.
cool.
What does she keep?
Uh,
Just ball
and the
pythons too?
the colubrids, it's her work. The gargoyle geckos, it's her work. We have a Yoshik hedgehog, the African pygmy hedgehog, the little firkers.
Oh, that's fun.
That's cool.
Do you work? Where do you have a full time day job too?
Yes, I need to. I have a visa, so it's exclusive. I cannot go and work at McDonald's on weekends. I can only work for that company. So there's no
Okay,
McDonald's. Sorry. You get the point. So it's an
right.
extra source of income free of tax. That's all right. Some people do some good money. So all those flippers, it ended. There's still one guy, we know who it is. He's still doing it because importing royal pythons, it's on. You go to CITES, Russia, Python Regis. No way, Jose. It's forbidden. But if you have a business, you can. So there are some shops. There's a shop importing them, so we can get, like, we have Atlas has acid for what, couple years now. They were selling a few months ago. Someone
Oh,
imported a couple months ago. A couple strangers had clowns, so someone has one
would
now.
you want to
It's
be a
cool.
business or do you want to stay
Hobby.
hobby?
I wanna keep it small. Uh, Amelia has a collection like 3 times bigger than mine. It's a lot of work. I don't know how you do it, Amelia. I want to keep it small, 30 snakes plus the other half a dozen colubrids. And so we have friends. We're playing. I know where I am in this big pyramid. We are at the bottom, the very bottom, or the thickness of a nail above the bottom, because we sold a couple snakes. from a dozen clutches these last couple of years, and it's fun. We make friends. It's cool. It's one of those I kicked off the bucket list. I did a show. We've been to the show a couple of times, being behind the table, so that's cool.
Would you want to ever go back to Portugal, or is that a non?
Yeah, if I want to go back, I have two loves in life, not counting the motorbike or the snakes. It's the my job. I work in the carbon fiber industry, and it's this lady here, the marketing and sales director.
Oh, this is so
So
nice.
now, yeah, so now I want to stick around with all the turbulence. I want to. Uh, okay, wait.
Hi.
We
That's
have a plan
awesome.
B. We have a plan B and a plan C. If things go wrong, we can put in
Okay.
motion a plan and be safe. That's all. It would be difficult for the snakies, but or plan B it would work. But yeah, to Portugal it's difficult to send them there.
hmm Well, Purple Church asks, "What
Yeah.
types of colubrids do you keep?"
We have a couple corn snakes and a couple of milk snakes. The albino Nelson milk snake, and we have another little nervous guy, the apricot. That's the Campbell apricot. Is yeah, the apricot requires a bit of patience to open the container slowly and not to get him nervous. And we the rainbow boa, we got the female. So in a few years, 4 or 5 years, we can get a male and do a collaboration with someone just for the fun of it, just to give it a go.
David says, "All Portuguese deep down want to return. Our country is a little paradise."
Cool. There is a group that is Portuguese Pythons. They're everywhere in the podcasts. I've been seeing them around. I
Yeah,
think
he's
Austin.
like a second generation
Okay.
immigrant.
Austin from Mutation Creation. His parents, I think, they are Portuguese. Maybe he was born in Canada. I'm not sure of that. But there's yeah, that's we are all over the world. Yeah,
So, can you
unfortunately.
describe a Russian reptile show? Like, is it in like a normal like community hall, like it is in the U.S., or are they in?
There are two shows. One is small. They want to keep it small. They do the Forest Fest as well. They do the reptile show. But it's small. It's I don't know in square feet. Terramania, yeah, it's a couple dozen tables. Reptilium, like 3 or 4 years ago, it was done in a small venue that got really, really overcrowded, and
Mhm.
then they changed it on the second year of the pandemic. It was more room you could breathe. It was in terms of regulations, it worked better for people to keep distance. And now they rent a place. It's just a couple blocks from our house. It's a show venue. How do you say for concerts or rock
Like an
concerts or whatever?
auditorium.
Yeah. It's a big venue, and yeah, that's cool. So they organize it well. They have if you want to sell, how do you say, bric-a-bracs, wallets and stuff reptile related, there's a section for those tables. Uh, there's some other people with different odds things and stuff. Then there's fish in there a little bit, and then there's the tables of reptiles. I would say half the show that have that stuff. You can buy a lot of terrariums and stuff for the terrariums. How do you call the tools? The logs, the cork bark, all
hmm
the fake leaves
Like
of plants,
hardscape decor.
live plants, all the decor. Yeah,
So
tools
they're
and all
doing
that
all
stuff.
the things.
Yeah.
And
It's
is
really
there like
cool.
a bunch of shows in every city, or is it just major cities that have
Yeah,
shows?
it's Moscow has two shows. So this one was early November, late October, early November, and then it's gonna be in May, June, something like that. And St. Petersburg has one as well for the last 3 years. Yeah, 3 years they expanded to St. Petersburg.
All right,
Uh,
that's good. I think
And there's
shows
a
are
couple.
healthy. You just don't want like a million shows.
No. In the far regions on the east, there might be a couple friends that make a gathering or
hmm
are trying to promote the hobby in their town. So, but as you can see on my YouTube channel, I have a playlist of shows there. You can go and check it out.
Oh,
The people in the hobby, sorry, in the chat, they can check it out later.
Yeah, I
So
forgot. I forgot to add it to the
yeah,
details,
no
but
worries.
Peter does have a YouTube channel, which I'll add afterwards. I can bring it up. What were you saying?
So YouTube channel is this name, Lorga GS Certain, which is started as a motorbike channel, but now it's only snakes. Not much motorbike riding nowadays. It's snowing, and
Do you get to ride around in the summer though? Still, right?
yep. But
That's good.
when I now I have a social life, more busy schedule. So, but all the rides as well. If we're going somewhere on the road, I like to ride off road. So, two people off road is not very good. Ah, there we go.
This is this channel. I'm subscribed. Uh,
And the colors of the logo, of course, it's the colors like the Portuguese Python sky. It's the colors of our flag. So, there we go. Which one is this? It's the latest. A year ago, half a year ago. Okay, so it's big. We got Harry Heinle. He's a big boa breeder. You should like him.
yeah. So he
He was
can.
in Europe. Yeah, it's the expensive stuff. Very few people can buy his stuff. It's on the thousands of dollars. He has really cool stuff. The red dragons and
So he managed to get him. Is this is in Russia?
yeah.
He
So some
managed to get
people.
like a get them in imported and then exported again.
His Bose is different on CITES. I don't know. I'm not.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Atlas. So some people have cool. How do you say display acrylic display cases.
Hmm.
Others are still presenting in Tupperware. So the last couple of years, we've been bringing up the standard, so it's good. And then everybody ended up buying the same boxes. So we have
This is a big
there's
show. This is bigger than
half of
Arlington.
ham, I would say.
To me, this venue looks bigger than Arlington.
No, but there's more space and not so many people. Ham
Right.
was a very cool experience. I was there in September 19. That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
That's I went. I
Is
should
this like
have
a
got.
bouncy house? What is that for
Yeah, you
kids?
can do a concert. Yeah, there's the backstage there. There's I don't know. I try to tell a story like Brian Casco, like a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I get inspiration from those guys. Yeah,
Million said you forgot about the new reptile show in Siberia.
Siberia. Oh, okay. There is one there.
That's cool. You want
I
something on
gotta
both sides because obviously there's nobody
yeah,
flying.
I gotta connect on social media to those guys. We shipped snakes to the Far East, mate. It's when you guys in the United States complain, oh, now it's winter, we cannot ship. Here it works the underground network of somebody that has a friend that will take the train, come to Moscow, and that can take a couple reptiles back on the train for a small commission. So we work like that.
Well, you have trains. That's the
Paper.
difference.
Yeah, you cannot take it on the airplane. Come on, it would
Right,
be
but we
easy.
don't have trains. We have
Ah,
like some north south trains, but we don't have any east west trains anymore. We took all that
use
shit
the
out and threw
bus.
it in the trash.
Go on Greyhound. No, you
Oh,
get the point. No, it's a big
yeah,
country. It
yeah.
was founded on a good railroad structure.
Right.
So
Do you have
of
any
course,
couriers like they do in
yes,
Europe?
in Moscow, yes, there is how do you say? There's half a dozen couriers. You can just pay them like $10, and they'll pick up the snake and deliver to you to your door if you're
So
busy
you
at
don't
work.
have like a FedEx type situation.
No, 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 no. It's not legal. But
Yeah.
there was this story. The guy that worked on the fast train from Moscow to St. Petersburg used to take our reptiles. He was a friend of the hobby. So I would say he would make a second salary as much as with these carrying a dozen reptiles every time they go like a couple times a week. He would
Hmm.
make a good amount. There's a risk, of course. And what was it? A year and a half ago, some idiot made a complaint about him. They found out at work, and the guy lost his job.
Oh
So
no.
we got. It was cool to see. There was a couple of people that took the initiative. They did a fundraiser, and there was a bunch of auctions of reptiles, and we did also a little donation. So we got him. It was quite a good amount, like 3 or 4 grand for him
To live off of.
to live on. I think. Oh, now it's his brother doing it. So, he's back. Okay, yeah, yes, he's back. So we're, we're back on track with that, or else it would be catastrophic for the.
The
It's like
hobby.
700 kilometers. It's what 500 miles between the two cities. If you
Hmm.
don't drive it, doesn't justify the price. So we, yeah. So on speed train, it's like 4 hours overnight,
Mm,
and they got good temperature. Because it's cold here, so there's good temperature control for the animals.
crazy.
So
Yeah, I mean, Americans are spoiled. Let's just be honest. we can we don't have trains, but we can FedEx anything anywhere basically next day.
for instance, the idea I have of ham, because by European legislation you cannot ship FedEx or other companies. That's why the shows like Ham or Houghton or in Italy or the UK,
Mhm.
they work as the hub. Everybody comes from their own countries far away. They drive all day, all night, and they all meet their friends there and do the trades, money for
Mhm.
reptiles, and then they take it back to their cities, their countries, for them, for their friends, for the shops, and that's why every 3 months it works. There's a hub to distribute the reptiles.
It would make
The
those more important, right?
Yeah, keeps the show alive. It's very busy. It's in the morning, early hours of the morning. It's not to do tourism. It's walk fast, get your boxes full, collect your stuff, get out of there. 1 hour before the show ends, all the breeders are gone. Or on that year, that specific year, I had not the I had a funny experience. Let's say.
All
So
right,
we
let's
were
get
there
into
early.
it.
Yeah, we were there at the early morning to collect a couple animals at the Café del Sol. So it's September. It starts to get chilly, but it's cool. You hear all European languages. So we get to the show. An hour into it, I feel a hand going through my bag. I turn around, catch the guy. Listen, Jessica, from all the people that are full of money at the show, that guy was really, really unfortunate.
Right, he picked the
I had no money. I can control myself. I'm going to ham. I'm not gonna buy anything I already bought. I picked up a little baby before the show opened, so I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna see. And yeah, I caught the guy. I call my buddies. Dima, where are you? Dima is a big guy. He came with Jenia. They're like big army guys. We surround the pickpocket guy. We take him to the front desk, and then they call the police. And I understood. So this is a couple hours. This whole scene. I'm not enjoying the show, but the police. No, one of the securities of him put it, and I understood very well. Um, if you don't want to make a complaint, we know who he is. We'll be on the lookout. But
Mhm.
you know how it is on the organization. It's thousands of people. You
Yeah.
can slip through the crack. And no, 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 no. I want to nail this guy. Sorry, this money is for us crazy people to buy reptiles, not for you.
Do
So
you
I
think that
spent,
was
yeah.
a reptile person or just like a guy?
Nah, 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 nah. We know which country he was from. He was famous at the police station already.
Okay.
This was a professional pickpocket. So I spent all afternoon at the police station waiting for the translator to come. They understand English, but you need the official translator to certify it.
Oh.
So long
Is the
story short,
business in ham done in English because that's something
German.
most people share, or is it mostly in German? Should
German,
a
I would
dumb
say.
American go there without
No,
brushing up on German?
whatever language you can speak. You go to a table, you figure out whichever language you can communicate with. Usually English, it's one of those common ones, but you hear all sorts of languages. There are people from Poland, from Hungary, so
Right.
you
In
try
high
to
school,
figure
I
it
took
out.
Japanese, so I'm out shit out of luck in a
Itadakimasu,
European reptile show.
itadakimasu. Good.
So and
So,
Latin, which is
yeah.
sick.
Ah,
So
great.
we're
Oh,
not
that's
doing good.
Portuguese. Helps you with
All
Portuguese.
right.
Our
Yeah,
language derived
I still
from
can't
Spanish.
conjugate a verb to save my life though, so it's fine.
Okay. So at the end, the police lady was finishing her shift, the police captain, and I asked her for a ride. Hey, Shane is here. So it was 5 minute drives instead of half an hour walk. So I get there, everybody's gone because it was really, really busy. I wanted to enjoy the show.
Mhm.
So I ran to Bob Clark's table. My buddies were there. Okay. And then there was another impulse buy. But yeah, so then after the
Would you
show, we did
recommend somebody go there, or is it too much
yeah, it's like
like
going to Mecca once in a lifetime. Come to
okay.
Sham. Like we want to go to Tinley. All the big European breeders have been to Tinley. I think that's not
Okay.
new.
I feel like Tinley's more of a it sounds like yours is like, a a Japanese fish market overnight. where they're like, quick, we got to get them all in the couriers by the
Yeah,
X time. And that's still cool to look at, but to
it's
me,
a
it's a
couple
lot
hours
more of a
drive. They
show.
they go there in the morning and they get back at the end of the show. Just the Europeans from other countries, they might stay at the hotel. So that's where you have interesting conversations.
2%.
There are stories, crazy stories happening at those times. But yeah, that's
Have you ever thought of going on the 15 minutes of lame?
I was invited like 3 years ago or something. Listen, breaking news. Chris Eaton has been cheating on us all years ago with another podcast. Chris Eaton had another lover. I mean another mistress podcast.
Oh no.
He started. I met him on the Zoom calls of that podcast. It was my one black friend, my one white friend. It was sci-fi series and movies
Mm-hmm.
thing. It was a funny podcast.
Is
I
he
got
not
my
still doing that one?
no. It finished a couple years ago. It was very well prepared podcast. By
So you didn't want to do 15 minutes of lame?
no, I was like, listen, like 3 years ago, I didn't have the experience. I didn't have much to say. I thought, why am I gonna take the place of an American breeder that can use the opportunity to promote their brand?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the year that Shane entered the.
So you let Shane win.
Strategy.
What a
Strategy.
good.
No, you couldn't beat that. Come on.
Right, Shane's very highly motivated.
No, in a
So-
few years, I will ask him. I have a special project here. If I'm gonna cry or I'm gonna laugh a lot, then I will ask. If I laugh and I'm successful with it, then it will be a world's first. But I keep dreaming. I'll probably cry. I don't want to. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
I have an
Is
hypothesis.
it like a dinker, or you're just trying to hit?
No, it's a very well-known project. The females don't. And I'm not talking about the scaleless. So that leaves one option.
Caramel.
No, that's viable. That's fairly viable.
Sometimes the
doesn't-
females are slug out all the time.
no problem.
Oh, desert?
Yeah,
What the-
no
oh
problem
my-
for Hummus. Yeah.
All right, we won't talk about it.
We
You
have
let
a
me know.
bit. We have a
You let
pretty
me.
one. I bought it at the show. I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy anything. I had a couple $100 in my pocket, and I thought, well, this makes amazing combinations on World of Ball Pythons. I need females. Yeah, next week I came across the Always Too Cool Reptiles report and Kabilka's Ball Street Journal. I went to the shop to complain. They didn't understand what I was trying
Right, to them, it's
to
just
explain
like,
to them. Yeah, and it's like whatever.
well, it's possible some of them can breed, but it's like it's still a dead end project if not enough of them can breed. Like it's
I have
really
an hypothesis, but I don't want to talk about it. Come on.
well, yeah, we don't want to talk about it, but it's funny because in like fat-tailed geckos, caramel and the hypogene, I think both have sterile females. They
Mm.
breed the shit out of both of them. They're like, whatever, just these ones are pets and these ones are for fun, like for breeding. The males are fertile and they will breed female hets, and it doesn't seem to hurt them. I'm like, okay, like they're just like, yeah, this is the pet category. The female.
There's so much cool stuff happening with the reptiles genetics and why some things work, why others don't. All
Mhm.
the carpets, boas, all the stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we learn.
Do you know anything about boas, or do you follow boa stuff?
A little bit. I know if you name a couple morphs and you say a couple other fake ones, I can probably distinguish.
Well, there's a
If-
line of T
if it
plus
is a-
boas called Russian blondes that were discovered in Russia first, and they've basically like
okay.
disappeared from the U.S. I was wondering if you like
No, I
had
don't know.
any in your pocket
I can ask
put
you
on
all.
the train.
We have the common the BCI the red boa and
Yeah.
normals and stuff.
Yeah, they
It's
were
good.
like a
People are
BCI
breeding.
morph.
Like the hobbies that likes that how do you say is the foundation of the hobby, the base of this pyramid. We have people doing it. It's fun. It's a fun process. I'm sure. I would like to try it, of course, but I would like to have carpets. Oh, hello, Lucas.
How
Anema.
many Australian species
But
do you have in?
no, I had in Australia. I would like to have Stimsons. I would have like to have China, but our apartment is small. It will look like a freaking zoo. Come on, we already. You saw the wreck. You have the picture of the wreck we made there. People can see it's in the corner
We
of
can
the
show the
living room,
picture.
and it's under control. It's so. And the geckos will need a terrarium. We just bought the terrariums for the colubris. We want to give them more space, so
Is
that will go
this
in one
something you
corner.
made or is it commercial?
Yeah, so that is the ARS Freedom Breeder technology of belly heat. So what happens here? And I had one discussion. It went okay, and I gave up. This trying to convince these people that they have a rack like an IKEA rack,
Mhm.
wood or whatever, a metal rack from whatever whichever hardware store, and they put the heat pad and the plastic box. So every time you open, the plastic is gonna slide and friction on the heat pad.
Mhm. Fire
You know,
hazard.
no, 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 it doesn't happen. Well, I can tell you stories about facilities in I don't know, I know that, or you guys already had that experience like 3 decades ago or so. You figured it out.
Mhm.
So we thought about importing LP because we had a constriction of space, um, and there's an LP rack that fits there. It's like 3 grand, and the import cost of at customs it would be another $4,000. So four
Tell
grand.
people what LP racks are because
Ah,
they may not
a
know.
brand of racks from Denmark, I believe. I think the headquarters is there. Pretty, how do you say, popular in the UK. I think there was a few.
Are those the ones that import ARS tubs and they just build their own?
Yeah, or Freedom Breeder. Yeah, they're compatible. That's the thing.
Okay.
So these we got the Polish company, the tubs that are the knockoff of Freedom Breeder. They make them there. It's the same size, the IMC tubs. So we got on, I think it's on the left, the FB70, and the middle row, and on the right, the FB40s. We will need to expand the females on the center row to will
Mhm.
expand vertically in a year or so because they will need more space. So we had back heat racks that's easily built. The
Mhm.
first one I bought from a friend, she got it made at the whatever factory, some other guy, and then I made the second one. So I went from 10 snakes. It's a little rack, 5 levels, 2 containers side by side, back heat, a thermostat, not very difficult, and safe, simple to build. So I built my second rack. So it was 20 snakes, and then we needed to expand. So now it's 30. So I did the design. I got from what was it? The tall grass reptiles. I used the rail system for inspiration, and then I ended up building pretty much. It's a metal plate perforated at the front for ventilation, and then it bends twice. How do you say, the 90 degrees to make the rail for the container to slide. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It looks nice. It
And
looks
it's wood
commercial.
instead of metal. It's wood. It's cheap, easy to build. I can disassemble, assemble, and I know woods. We have some people building metal in. There's a couple people building in Moscow metal racks. They're more expensive, but if you want, there's someone importing containers from China, so they got like a whole bunch of them they were selling if you ordered. We got good tubs and cheap materials, so we invested on the tub a bit more. It was like 600 or 700 bucks in tubs.
Do you have
And
cheap PVC, polyvinyl chloride panels,
mhm,
or
we have a guy that no, there's a couple guys build plastic, a couple that build wood, 3 that build plastic and wood, whatever order you want. So on social media, our VK is Vash Contact, your contacts, the Russian knockoff of Facebook. So we got our groups there. Facebook was banned thanks to Mr. Fuckerberg. Spasiba Bolshoi. The Mr. President said your social network is not welcome in this country. So
Mhm.
we got our own rolling, our groups, and people advertise there and you can order. So I ended up building myself. I did the calculations correctly, so everything fitted well. So we got back heat. Then I did the electrical connections. I cut heat tape. You know how it is. Connect. We got good thermostat from a British company. I forgot the name, but I got good controller because we got the Chinese thermostats of Repti Zoo, and they go in long pulses. So there is a drop of
Mhm.
temperature. even for the incubators, like a degree and a half Celsius. So that's 3 Fahrenheit fluctuations. And now I
Hmm.
got one that has like zero point 0.1, 0.2 of fluctuation of temperature. So that's pretty good control. So you
And you
buy a
don't
cheap.
want to expand too much. Like, what's your
No,
like
I'll be 10
maximum?
more, maximum 10 more. And well, I'm getting, how do you say, in my head, some of the original snakes will have to go. And it's
Mhm.
playing the game. Either I keep everything for the next 30 years. I'll be retiring in 3 decades. So when the snakes will be old. So we got to improve the collection, or else we'll have. Look, when I started, my side of the collection is the classic morphs. I listened to, got an influence from bullshit. I think it's on
Mhm.
the third episode. Sean is talking to a friend. He was into it in the 90s, then got out, got married or something, then came back in mid 2000s, and the craze days, the explosions of morphs, and had gone. And how do you learn? Well, you go to the beginning. And I think on Ben Rennick, they talked about it because Ben was into the other larger snakes, right? Something
Mhm.
like that. So, and I got that influence. Okay, I watched Miguel Garcia's video unboxing something cool. I pause. It's black and yellow. It's a pastel. No, this is an Enchi orange dream, yellow belly, clown, desert ghost, head for something. Okay, what did I know? Now I can figure it out. Now I know. Okay, the yellow belly we see from here, Enchi we see those markers there on the combo. So
Mhm.
now I can get 2 or 3 more out of 5 or 6. Okay, if you're working with Wookie, I don't know Wookie, but I'm cool. But
Yeah, I mean it is a in your case because you can sell them for more than 30 cents. It makes sense to slowly work your way into deeper combos because you don't necessarily need to be like
yeah. Okay, so
chasing.
I wanted to learn the classic combo, so I did. Olga came in and I run away. I run away. There are 4 morphs. I ran away like the devil from the cross, which is albino, pied, bells, and bananas. Mate, it's the most popular. Sells all around the world. We go.
Uh-huh.
These 4 ones, they are pretty. They are popular, and there is a reason. And now they are at affordable price. 20 years ago, it was prohibitive for me, but now it's very cool. You know how it works.
Mhm.
The how do you call the Christmas tree effect or the pyramid scheme?
Right. Just as it
And
comes down.
yeah, and Olga got so we got cool stuff growing up, and we got a couple clutches laying next week. So when we come back, either they will be laid or the very next day or so. We're gonna
You
have
have somebody
we're gonna
watching
start
your
the
collection for you.
yeah, we got someone an expert, yeah, there. This so old Soviet pilot, the keeping an eye on it, Olga's father.
That's
I
good.
just I just hope he doesn't have to pick up the eggs from Mama Python.
He
But
might
he's
get.
cool with the snakes. He's cool with the snakes. He likes them. Who would have
That's
guessed?
good. Yeah, going on vacation's tough for me. I
Yeah.
don't basically. So
The geckos are with a friend, and we got a couple of babies. We got him to feed the babies. Oh my gosh! But we can get friends that can go there and feed with the animals, or if they go on holidays. We have in business in reptile shops. You can leave your reptiles there, but
mhm.
you pay you pay quite an amount. But
Are you
yeah,
worried about mites or something if you took them to a reptile
yes.
shop or Nido or something?
Oh, if I when I buy, yeah, quarantine 6 months. Yep. And we check
Do you
the.
have a lab for like? I know you said you have
They
to
are
test for
vets.
salmonella.
They are reptile vets where the industry is growing. It's like half a dozen of them. It's not the most popular. How do you say specialization at university, but every other year there's someone with a
That's good.
specialization in herpetology. So and they're working as vets or vet assistants, pro- progressing in the career. So we can get some analysis.
Do you vend the big show? That
Yeah,
one we just saw. Oh, so
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
vend that one too. All right, cool.
Or we've done collaboration when we don't have enough product. We do a collaboration with a friend. I bring the boxes, the displays, and they put the rest of the
Can you
stuff
live stream from
from the
there?
show. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Jessica. Oh, please. I did with I copied the Chris Eaton's the get the fuck out of here segment a couple times. And it was making fun not of the Russian show, but of the rules on the European shows. It's like
Hmm.
and I'm filming. You can sell spiders and spider combos. Get the fuck out of here! And look, you can give business cards and have your logo on the shirt and on the banner. That's against the critic against the IHS in the UK. Yeah. So
Why are the Europeans so
laws, animal
weird?
rights lobbies that pass the laws and the organization has to comply. Like in Germany, can only be one day. The sides of the containers have to be opaque, and at the front, in case of one reptile sees the neighbor and stresses. So each
Like
country
I
with
get they're being like they're very I don't know, overly prescriptive about everything because like I don't know, I saw a leopard gecko video of a I think she lived in Sweden. Her leopard geckos had to be in like 4x2x2s or something each
yeah.
one. And I was like,
You can make laws.
okay.
Can you control them? Can you impose the law on get an inspector to go everywhere and check everything of
Right.
everybody?
I guess
So
not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the European hobby is going to exist if
I think it's
every
okay.
time the like noose gets tightened all the time. Like you can't have a leopard
There's a
gecko.
big influence from North America. You guys do one thing, we copy. Like the tobacco law. It started you cannot smoke in restaurants. Now all over the world you cannot smoke in restaurants. You can still vape sometimes, hiding
Hmm.
and stuff, but those things have repercussions now. They spread. No, but I think it's
I'm
okay.
kind of okay with not smoking in restaurants.
Oh,
You
okay.
can be crazy. Like,
Zdarovi. No.
like
Warm
I
up.
don't like it. Just the whole thing smelled. I can remember going to like Golden Corral in like 1992 and
Oh, okay. I'm alright
still
with that.
sitting in the like the non-smoking section. But I was like 6 or whatever. It's fine. Some things are fine, but I think if anybody's going to legislate keeping pets out of the hobby, it'll be a European country first. What do you think about the Spanish situation with ball pythons?
I saw recently on Morph Market the flags over Spain. I don't know if it reverted. I remember in 2000.
Really?
Check Morph Markets.
All right, I will.
Let me check here on the phone while we talk. I remember in 2019 the someone raised awareness, a link to McCarley's video, so I went to check it and I read the legislation because I can read Spanish. Yeah, they really did it. So it was just royal ball pythons, but
And
I
like
think
one random lizard species, like
yeah, it
really
was
random.
a dwarf pig, some bird, and some yeah, it was something silly like that. Where is the map? I don't know where it is. The map. Oh my gosh, on the phone. But yeah, the rest it's in Italy. I don't think the large pythons you can have the anacondas and the retics. It's something like that.
Uh,
Can you get the map in there? I struggle to find it. They changed.
yeah,
They
they
changed.
changed it. Do you
Yeah,
know
on the
is
phone. They changed the app.
I need a Spanish
Whatever.
zip code?
You should have the map there. Where is it? It's not. Doesn't matter. But now here we're cool with it. All the stuff. For instance, if some idiot lets their Burmese python escape and the neighbor finds it, the police will knock on their door and he'll have a there will be consequences for that. They'll confiscate the animal, a fine. But the how do you say the authorities, if they were really interested in cracking crime on the smuggling, they would just have to go to the show and ask questions. Uh, yeah, that would be too easy. I hope I'm not giving them ideas. So, but now it's in-house production, people. So now this whole situation benefited us to. We need to establish our own production here. I say our, yeah, in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, now that you got it, you can have a functioning hobby business thing, and you don't necessarily need extra stuff. And you just have to grow your market, grow your base,
Yeah,
and
and
then
it's growing. It's growing. It's if the economy stays balanced, let's put it like that, it will grow. So it will move with the economy, the ups and downs. But Yeah, and then we'll just adjust prices. For instance, we know the price because I started doing the like an accountant. When I came, I had all the stuff on the files, the stuff I brought from us. I had just a little quick funny story. In Portugal, I bred colubrids. I had cal kings, and they were fun and bitey. And then in Australia, I got this beautiful pair of these black and yellow line of jungle carpets. So I went from cal kings to jungles. That was fun for
And you
you
want to
get.
get back, get some
No, I'm
carpets
not in
again?
a, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush. For and then when I came to Moscow, I decided to pull the trigger on the ball pythons. I wanted to learn the morphs. If I was going into carpets, I would like to do my research, take my time, like a year easily, and get from a good European breeder some cool stuff. Because the stuff that comes here, it's not necessarily the prettiest. It can happen, but there are some mutts and mixed
Hmm.
bloods in there, and jungles with diamonds and whatever. Yeah, and jaguar on the mix. Yeah. But no, it still can still be a good pet. Melly is saying Russia has potential to be one of the best countries for reptile breeders, but I cannot read that other word, and difficulties with export and import spoil everything.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, it's
uh,
tough. I just
if there is a will, there is a way. Now
right.
the root of smuggling was well, it's no more. So we talked about it.
Hmm.
But no, it's cool. We got a good market, a good thing going on. Amelie is one of those that went crazy and got a lot of things that are very cool, and now she's a good friend. We don't have to be competitors. We can be friends, and we do our thing. She bought from us, we bought from her,
Hmm.
and it's a bit like that. I'm happy then when we started our group. In the first few months, we got the main breeders of royals that they subscribed. Okay, they know who we are. The group is still small, but
Hmm.
okay, we see each other at shows. We talk. We're cool with each other. It's
Do you want to like double recessive, triple recessive
no.
soonish?
There are people with that. And listen, this is how I think. I want orange demon, yellow belly on my clown project. So I have a couple more morphs, make half a dozen incomplete dominant morphs in it. I could buy it. I don't want. I have the ingredients. I will make it. I want a cinnamon albino for the bullshit story of the no Graziani and Sean Bradley talking. I made it first. No, I made it first.
Yeah.
It's-
So you just
Someone
want to
else had
make
it.
it to like,
So
you
I
know,
could have bought it a few years ago and saved me the trouble for $250 from Europe, and I would have a cinnamon albino. So first year female didn't go. This was 3 years ago. Second year it was only males. So you know where all the cinnamon males went. Oh my gosh. Last year we got the female, held her back, so it will take me. And then that can happen the same with her. So this will be a 7 8 year project, but it's I want to do it. I got this in my mind. I want to do it. I'm okay.
mhm.
So we can.
Yeah, sometimes your white whale gets to stay the white whale. Like I could
And
have
there's
bought a GHI Mojave clown 3 years ago,
yeah,
but
you want to
I'm just
do it.
like, nah, I'll just make it because
But,
it doesn't
but
matter
when
that
you
much.
when you hatch that baby, or you have a couple and you choose one that is the best feeder, you know it will be a good feeder for you.
Hmm.
We've been fairly lucky so far with how do you say mites, diseases, and there's a couple of stories there. And our most expensive snake doesn't want to eat. Eats one little mouse every 10 days. She's half a kilo. She should be twice as much. So that's just what.
Right?
But the rest,
Isn't that the worst?
yeah, it is what it is. All our friends that bought from the brothers and sisters from the same clutch, they're gonna beat us to that one. It's all right. We quarantine. If the snake is good, no URI, no the poo is normal, no worms, good behavior. Maybe after 4 or 5 months, it because of reasons of expansion, we need some of the quarantine box for another snake. So we've been okay. We had one bad experience this year that it wasn't about the price of the snake. If I tell you that the combo, it was an ivory. We thought about doing a little project, and she came crawling with mites. The how do you say, the smuggler on the European side. Oh, but I opened the bag and I fed it and I gave it water. Yeah, I want the snake in the bag with the whatever the lock, the knot. I don't want it out. They can go a couple weeks without eating. And that
Right.
snake died last month. It started not eating, regurgitating. Uh, Curious.
Ah.
The only snake full of mites didn't make it. So we
Yeah,
got
so
all
she
the
might have
disease.
got something else
Yeah, we don't
with the
know.
mites.
It could have been the front line. I did the how do you say, the bath in water to get the mites out to
Uh-huh.
drown them, and then I did a front line. All the others that I did front line, they're okay. Only this one, I don't know. So all the diseases in Europe, we got them here. It's been 5 years, and then we have people here that have been following the scene in Moscow and in Russia for longer than me. 5 years, I hear the same problems. URIs, crypto, if not crypto, is amoeba or whatever disease in snakes, in geckos. It's the same. People don't quarantine, or they get, I don't know, it cross contaminates from one species to the other.
Mhm.
People just have to quarantine, please. Just we don't have the analysis, we don't have the genetic tests and the shed tests that you guys have, but just keep it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, quarantine can catch a lot of the worst of it at the very least.
for instance, I was talking before on the backstage about that friend, the former friend. Amelia will recognize immediately. Anastasia Vostrikova. She's a RIP. She's a breeder graveyard. Good.
Mhm.
I tried to talk to her. Look, this is the standard of some people here. We have that standard. You have the baby is born, sheds, and it's the half a dozen meals, or the second shed, or a bit over 100 grams. The established. So people here, it's shed, ate one little live mouse, ready to go. You're gonna get a phone call from the or a text message. My snake doesn't eat. I don't know why. That kind of stuff. And I was trying to talk to her. I tried to put it nicely, not to say what I really thought, but I tried to say this is the European standard of quality, and we
Mhm.
are here, and we want to aim upwards. So we should do the pairings. We do like the breeding list. This male is gonna go to this female or these two females, something like that. We have a ratio 1 to 2, and they are married. And if there is a disease, I know I can quarantine. It's 4 snakes. It's this male, the female, and the two ones from last year that were in contact. Okay,
Mhm.
we isolate the group. She was, no, I do it. I put one male to every female every week. So then he's tired after a month or two. So she puts another one. So at the end of the breeding season, female was with four different males because they don't eat. They skip one meal. She stresses.
Wow.
She was on her way to be one of the big breeders. She had the social media. She had two reputations for the people who knew her and people who didn't know her.
Mhm.
So that those were two different reputations. And it trying to explain to her, do quarantine, do the breeding plan, try to minimize issues, grow not too fast. No, I know what I'm doing. I do it this way because okay, have it your way. So she did. She had like 50 snakes. She was coming from a previous season, half a dozen clutches, and she was gonna double or triple that number. She did collaboration with a friend that she just met, and crypto spread through her collection. Now, Olga here can contest that and say it was not crypto, it was amoeba. Some Okay, it happened. It's bad luck. We will help you. There was a clutch. I told her, hey, choose one of the babies here to help you rebuild your collection. Um, but she was doing one thing. She was selling snakes that were infected that she knew, and these are adults or semi-adults. And customer buys, 1 or 2 months later dies, and they write it on her social media, comment deleted, person blocked, and she was totally blacklisted. It was We had a fight over it. So
Yeah, that's
that's the level
terrible.
here, and we must make those situations aware. The
Is she been is she out
we
of the
don't.
hobby now, or is she still
I
like
don't know. We got blocked, of course. We got blocked, but yeah, whatever. Don't know, don't care. Yeah, whatever. But we try to do the best. For instance, I because like 3 years ago, I we didn't have the group, so we were doing a collaboration with Anastasia, and we were selling through her. Okay, you get 10% of commission. She was not having, and this is someone that was having clutches of three eggs, one slug, one got moldy consistently. Two, three, 4 eggs per clutch. Females 1 kilo. Okay, you can get the point. And some people we were told, some people thought that we have the same disease in our collection. So because we were associated with her,
Mhm.
oh, okay, my snakes are at my house, but the babies are at my house. Customer buys, they come and pick it up from us. We were just using her platform, so we suffered a little bit from that. It was
Yeah.
like I was selling at a friend's table before we had the group, before I met Olga, and he want first year 10% of commission, second year 20, third year 30. No, 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 no. Okay, it's time for us to make our group and get our name out there.
Right.
Yeah, so if we can get a help from a friend, like being on a podcast, it's okay, it's cool.
How common are commission based sales in the hobby over there? Because here it's actually quite rare for
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah. No,
usually just like
that's not
wholesale
normal.
lots to people or whatever,
People
and then
can do a
they just
collaboration. You give me the male, my female is more, it's stronger. You get an egg. You can choose one baby, something like that. Or we want to do a collaboration with our milk snake. She's in a brumation now, so that is working well. So we'll split the clutch half half. I don't care. It's just for the fun, for the experience of having the trouble of teaching those little buggers to eat. So that's and the person with the male just bounced out of it. Is not putting the male in a information. So we'll find someone else. We'll
Mhm.
and we'll breed the corn snakes that we have in the future, and just for the fun of it, have the experience and the geckos.
Mhm.
But I'm aware of the collaboration. Olga sometimes says, "Ah, we should do. Ah, we're doing one now. I left one of my males with a friend, and we're chasing a project. So he will get what he wants, and then we'll do another one. I'm hoping on the odds for something else that I want, and it's always a risk. I asked him, hey, I want to be cool with this. I don't mind who. If you get more out of one clutch, I just want that particular combo out of the other clutch. I
Yeah,
want us to
I'm
be
a
making
big baby.
friends.
I don't do any of them.
I know it's the first time. Let's see, and if it works, it strengthens the friendship.
Yeah, I like strengthening friendships. Like,
Yeah,
what I would love to do is instead of doing like a breeding loan or collab, like you just want a male that I no longer need anymore, and I just give them to you for
same good.
free, and you send me some of the first clutch, and then like that's you paying for them, and it's a male, so I don't need them anymore anyway. But maybe that's like a transformative male for you, and then like I don't ever have to get any like the mail back to resell it or something. I'm just like, just take it. That's what I would rather do. To me, it feels a little cleaner.
Because
And
we've been invited to a couple of friends' houses and we see their collection and it's always cooler than ours. It's cool and I want this, I want that. We can do a collaboration with them and try to. It's like I've always tried to put the brakes on it a little bit, but on this one we're going to try and advance something a bit more. Like when I say the low end stuff, like you say low end until $1,000, and then from 1,000 to 4, 5,000 middle end, and then above the high end, right?
Mhm.
How do you rate that? How do we
In the US, so
let's
I
say
think,
low end up until $1,000?
yeah,
Can we agree? Okay,
yeah,
there's the paycheck snake for 400 or 500 bucks. All right. So here it's all low end stuff. Trying to sell something of 1,000, but there are people. There's like Atlas Reptiles. They sell snakes for 1,000 bucks. Last year or a couple years ago, the Black Knight Gecko sold us also for that. So someone has Black Knights. Okay, but the stuff of 200-300 bucks sells easily. If you make double combos or a recessive with an incomplete dominant morph, or the bells, all the purple passions and the white snakes, all that stuff, pides, that sells. That is booked in the egg pretty much.
mhm.
Those are the popular ones. So doing Jessica, send me your normals. We're selling them at $100 here. Come on,
What?
it's a ripoff. I feel bad. I feel bad.
Do
Normal.
you ever like barter for stuff? Like like what Emma brought up? Like, somebody works on your car and they're like, I want a snake. Like how common
No,
is
no,
that
no,
there?
never. I don't know. Never done it.
Okay.
But yeah, we can trade. I've traded with a friend, so it's not an issue.
I mean,
But
you're
no,
talking
not
about the
bartering.
prices in USD. Is that
Euros, dollars, it's pretty much the same. So
okay?
just
Do you
for the
think
audience,
about them in USD or do you think about them in euros?
it's
Because you
easy.
mostly look at Morph Market.
$1 is 100 rubles. So
Okay,
if you,
so it's all the same
it's easy.
anyway.
Now it's easy, very easy conversion. Just for your audience to get it, we can make double combos. Do I need to name them? The stuff that can be pretty with incomplete dominant morph set for these. It can be pretty, and sell them. And then some people want to play a little bit more advanced. More, so we have some very basic stuff, very basic combos. We have some other projects. Recessives that can, or just incomplete dominants that if they happen to have banana and look pretty awesome, very pretty, of course the price goes up a
Mhm.
little bit, like $400 or $500.
So if somebody brought like a really high end snake, like a DG clown,
Okay,
coupled incomplete dominant genes to a show, would anybody be able to afford it like, at 4 or 5
there might
thousand?
be a crazy person, or there is a couple people with dreamsicles. Some are chasing, others already have, or they have the pied het lavender albino and the other equivalent. They're chasing the. Mate, good luck. If I'm gonna get into that project, I need another rack because it's recessives, odds. You gotta hold back. It's
Hmm.
so we do our strategy, and I'm okay with it. You wanna do the how do you call the dream cycle?
Hmm.
Go ahead. You're the dream cycle person, or there's two or three people. You guys are known for that. I'm okay with that. I don't have to chase
Yeah,
everything.
dreamsicles are now like $300. So
So
I
so
don't know if in the US
if
anyway.
the prices, for instance, the prices are double on the low end stuff. I happened to hatch a couple years ago what was a pastel lesser leopard clown. So it's classic morphs, but in visual clown. It was like $1,300 in Europe, in the States, average price. I cannot make double price that. I tried 1,500, nothing. After a
Hmm.
few months, $1,000, nothing. Another show like $700. Now, oh, I'm just gonna keep the snake. He's one of our males. No, Superboy, pastel lesser leopard. So I'm gonna get the money out of that male. I didn't sell it. I keep it to myself. Even if he breeds to a non-clown, I'm gonna get what I want with those clutches. So he's gonna sire a couple of clutches. It's a good line of leopard. The rest can be pretty combos. So we'll just work like that. We'll work our projects that way. And everybody has different projects, incomplete dominants, recessives. For instance, we there is, as I said, Stranger Acid, but there is Clowns. The Clown is not very popular. It's more us that
Mm.
watch YouTube videos from UK or North America that are chasing the Clown. People who know Kabilka, people who know Ozzy and all those guys. The
Do you think if
bells,
you got all the grandmas into snakes, it would be more popular? Babushkas?
no, Babushi. Yeah. Oh, I've seen them at shows. I even feel them. What the hell? Buying a snake for the granddaughter?
Amelia says most breeders in Russia do not understand the benefits of complex morph combinations as double and triple recessives, and they are not willing to pay for them.
Yep,
Right.
correct. Super correct.
Well, then you
Um,
just need to educate them like in their language because like they are cool. That's why I'm like, if you could like trick Justin into like getting on a podcast and then like translating Justin or somebody and having him show off his snakes or whatever, you just have to like convince it, right?
yeah. For instance, Amelia, when we have other friends, they understand it. If I had a strategy that was this was in the beginning, and now we had a clutch that it's always fun when we struggle to identify them. That's how we learn. It was doing like two incomplete dominants to two incomplete dominants. So that's a 16 different combos that are on World of Ball Pythons on Morph Market. Okay, I'm at the beginning, taking the first steps. I can get it. We had the last clutch. It was like 7 different morphs in it, and it just exploded. We're not sure what's in there, but they're cool. They're pretty. For so there's that double. How do you say? Both sides of the coin. How do you want to do it?
Mhm.
For instance, pieds. We cannot get enough pieds. They are booked in the egg. There was this person breeding them, and I understand breeding Super Russo to Super Russo. It's not a surprise clutch, but it sells. Or was it Russo to Super Russo? It sells. Someone was breeding albino to albino and pied to pied. So there's a lot of that. Some other people that have been doing it for a few years. I'm
Mhm.
okay. These snakes always find a place in their market, and it's good money for you for your holidays or something, or to pay the mortgage.
Mhm.
Or it's hard life. If you found a way to get an extra income, go for it. But they're not progressing on the combos. They're not buying
Right.
a multi incomplete dominant female, breeding the male pieds or whatever, and making heads and raising up the heads and going for the odds. Amelie is doing it. We have other friends that are doing it. The how do you say the boutique breeders? We want to do the cool combos, but pieds they just they fly off the shelf. It's crazy here.
Are
So
so Amelia and David are breeders? Do they have like business names? You want to shout them out? Plug their Instagram.
I'll leave some off. Okay, Amelia. So she's Snake's Embrace. We have Ave Reptiles, Genia. Props to you, mate. They are, for instance, in terms of big breeders, we have Atlas Reptiles near Moscow. We have a couple big ones in St. Petersburg, Nikiforov and Bautin. There's another very. No, I mentioned it. We have one in Pyatigorsk, south of Moscow, far bit south of Russia. Ruslan is very cool. So and there's new up and coming breeders from these last few years that started during the pandemic.
You can't use Instagram though, right?
VPN.
Can
We
you?
put,
Okay.
yeah, we have our own VK, our own Russian
Yeah,
knockoff.
a lot of I mean, some of the reptile hobbies on Facebook, but feels to me like that's like a dying part of it. It feels very Instagrammy to me currently. But then I don't know how many people are VPNing.
So and there are people. There's this phenomenon. Some people build a very good social media following, very cool posts, and that helps the sales. And it's like that thing. If I buy from this person, I'll have their friendship, their coolness coming into
Mm-hmm.
me. That there's that thing. So there is a bit of fluctuation of prices. Olga is the market researcher. She knows all the who did what. She doesn't forget what was done by who. If we see, because you don't say I sold the snake to this person, but then
Mm-hmm.
she sees the post. Ah, I know that snake. So and we know more or less the price. Some people can sell a bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We try to do an average price, not too low, but it has happened. We a couple years ago we had a couple of ugly hidden genoma combos that were like for 6 8 months nobody wanted, so I dropped the price 10%, 20%, and they went on the show. Okay, I know it's the end of the day. If you don't, I don't give you the a bit of a discount. You're gonna buy from table next door. So we got to know the person, and I think the snakes are in good hands. So
Mm-hmm.
that's important.
Yeah. Amelia says in Russia now there are only a few breeders who can appreciate such morphs, clown
Yeah,
ghosts, desert ghosts. We're trying to teach them, but it's a slow process. Yeah, I mean, if we think about the U.S. side of the hobby, it took 10 years
yeah.
for people to decide that combos were like worth fighting for and paying for, like really complicated combos that are hard, like that.
You
That
know,
was like hard
it's
enough
a
that it was worth.
hierarchy. A structure, it's a hierarchy, and you let the combos fight on the hierarchy and establish the. It's my Jordan Peterson impression. Fight the dominance on the hierarchy. No, it's we got Amur, we got a
You didn't sound
Passamon
like
Desert
Kermit the
Ghost.
Frog.
Yeah.
I can't do a Kermit the Frog, but
No, for instance, there's a few couple combos in recessives going around. That's cool to see. Either people bought or bred and made it better. There is someone with Amur. Amur is cryptic, right? I think it's the European version of cryptic, if I'm not
Amur,
mistaken.
yeah.
So there's Amur going around here, funky looking snakes. So as I said, we got like a hundred of the 200 morphs.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
say,
your
say
favorite right now?
ah
Recessive,
Marita
like
Marita
platform.
recessive. Now I gotta say the incomplete dominant morph. Marita asked me this deadly torrential girl. It's the pastel. All hail Master Graziani and Master McCurley. Pastel is cool again. Put it on Desert Ghost. Put it on Puzzle. What do you know, eh? The
Yeah, it's cool. It just has the time and the place, just like everything else. You know.
Sorry, Pastel Jungle. Okay,
Sorry,
let's
I slurred it.
PJ. No, for instance, Jessica, I'm happy that for instance I can't talk to you or to any of you guys, and because I put the time. I was alone, living alone the first couple of years in Moscow, so I was obsessed with podcasts and everybody's videos on YouTube. For instance, I still call it. It's the spider web, the old names, that
Right.
stuff. Olga goes crazy with it. But I'm happy to know the story of a couple of snakes, or a couple morphs. For instance, I'm gonna mention some just to get them out of the equation. What is it? The acid and confusion. They can be the same. We're gonna prove it genetically, right?
Hmm.
One is from popped up in Europe, the other one in the States. We know their stories. The Trick, Blitz, and Hurricane. It's breeders with a keen eye. They saw something different was going on with their combos. They isolated the morph,
Hmm.
named it. I understand that. Okay. Now, lesser and butter are the same or different? Really?
You
Banana
don't
and
think they're
coral
the
glow?
same?
No, no, we heard the stories from Barsich and McCurley. We know it's the same. The three
Right.
lines of Scaleless, we know the story. Barsich got his line, McCurley got another. It's pretty much the same. I
Right.
got
The African importers can give you all a run for your money if you're not talking to each other.
That's what I wanted to talk about. The African importer. You probably know who the name of that person. It has a very biblical name. The story has a
Mhm.
boat and a flood and all the animals in the boat. You
He
know who it is.
Yeah, he made
So
bank eventually.
now this is was a McCurley told on some video, and then Barsich on his weekend podcast that he used to do. He said it's been a couple of decades. We don't deal with on this line of business, so now we feel comfortable in telling the story.
Hmm.
Nobody owes anybody money. We're not importing from Africa like it used to be. So there was a promise, how do you say, an unwritten promise of exclusivity when Ralph Davis bought was it the Platy Daddy? I think he figured
Hmm.
it out. It was the Daddy, and the lesser is lesser platinum. It's just less bright, less pretty. And maybe Ralph thought he was the only one. Unbeknownst to him, the African exporter went and sold a clutch sibling because he already had the mama. He knew the mama probably was
Hmm.
different, but laid the clutch in their facility in Africa. So too, I forgot the gentleman's name, the founder of the butter. And so the African importer makes twice the money. When we don't
Right.
understand why it happens, why they are doing, it's corruption, it's money involved. It's like that. McCurley, come on, the banana and the coral glow, they do exactly the same combos, and you can talk about this one is prettier or the lineage how it was worked, but they have the sex link. It was sold to one, it was sold to another. So they told those stories, and I'm happy to know that
Do
it's
you
like many
think
pieces. Sorry, many pieces in the puzzle, and I'm trying to figure out putting the little pieces together. Okay, now having a little bit of general culture and knowing why it happened, why it is the
Purple
way it
Church
is.
says he thinks it was Mark Bell that got the other
Or
butter? Do you
maybe.
think that's why everybody was so mean in like 1999 to 2008? It's because they were like screwed over from the beginning, so they were like much more cutthroat, and then they like had to
And
do
what
all
was
this stuff.
the how do you say the profit margin or the brute amount of money that they made? They
Hmm.
bought houses, they built their empires, they built facilities, and bought Freedom Breeder Rex expensive. That they were selling a lot at those shows, making a lot of money at those shows.
But they
Uh,
also bought a lot of strippers and cocaine.
Now I'm happy. The best show we did, I made like what 800 bucks. We bought a snake, then we went for dinner with some friends later that night, and I blew half of the money on the dinner. Okay, we had fun. It's
Mhm.
Now we make money, we can buy a dinner or I don't know something. But before that, they were buying houses, so
Right.
they get a bit more aggressive. I understand.
Yeah, I'm like a baby or whatever. So I wouldn't have even liked the hobby at that point in time because that sort of like high stakes, extremely bro, $100,000 cash duffel
We,
bag drug deal type vibe at Daytona. That's not me. I'm more interested in this like slow, progressive, careful
no,
management.
yeah, for instance, I understood a couple of years ago when it was that thing of the what was it, the stranger and the mahogany. I knew someone was throwing a curveball to Iris. I just didn't know who. And Ron did a podcast with Marita and JD and John Philly. It was the Beauty, the Bearded, and the Beast or something like that. They invited me. I was in there, but that was Ron's show. That's
Was
how I
that
think
audio only or
John
was it
Philly
on
started
YouTube?
on YouTube. I think you find it on John Philly's show because they were supposed to be John Philly with Marita, and then Marita is busy or for some reason life happens. John Philly continued it, and she brought it up, and I said, "Be careful. That can be someone trying to play the market, either dropping the price of a morph or raising the price of another." And
Mhm.
then Chris Eaton told a few months later, a year later, he told the story who it was. Okay, so now we know from the person.
Do
So
you think
run it
people are
here.
still just as vicious deep down inside? Look, there he is.
Yep. How's it going, mate?
Welcome.
Oh, he's late. Good. He owes me a favor. He still owes me that date with the special lady, the busty Latina senorita. He owes me one. I want a. Ow! Come on! I said Latina senorita. Come on. No. It's J Lo. He owes me a date with J Lo. Come on. Give me a
Ah,
call.
sorry, that was the best thing I've ever seen on the show.
It's like speaking in codes.
Listen, JLo's fine. Leave her.
I want that date with her. He already. Come on. Ron already had his turn with her. Now it's my turn.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
uh, are you a bear trainer? What's a
What?
bear story?
The bear? In Russia. We had. I took a picture on cat and dog. How do you say a pet shop? The food for bear. Apparently, you can buy food for your pet bear around here. So it's a
Okay,
Russian thing.
that's
Come
very
on,
Russian.
Russian man is strong. They don't play with no pussy snakes around. It's
Uh,
bears and pumas and stuff like that. Oh come on, that's a joke between us.
yeah, I mean, I have a lot of like Russian jokes that are all stereotypes. There's bubbles.
For the New Year's Eve. Oh my gosh.
But I'm
Sorry, yeah,
trying to keep them
there's
to
the
myself, you know. All right, where's this
stereotypes have a
episode at?
reason. I'll send you the link. It's difficult to find. It's old, like 3 years ago.
Oh yeah,
The
and John took a little break. He's not doing his live anymore.
okay.
I did message him. He's just like, I'm taking a break.
Uh,
He's
I heard
fine.
that the guy from the Fight Club on NPR on Morelia Python Radio, Shark also took a sabbatical, just like Jenna. Jenna, I think, is on a sabbatical. She'll be back. Come back, Jenna. Come back. The BBM as well. Come back to the videos. BBM, come back. Come on, everybody
Yeah,
in the chat.
like there's absolutely a grind to it. Like you have to be like,
Yeah,
okay, every week I'm gonna talk about snakes on the internet, or twice a week, or 3 times a week. But and so
it's
people
hard.
come out
Yeah,
in like seasons
you
where
burn
they're
out.
like, yeah, I'm just like just too stubborn to ever stop. So
I understand that, and I want to grow slow. We have a friend. He's been taking everything from the market. He's growing very, very fast. I told him grow slow. Like I don't know. I'm gonna get and I'm gonna do. Yeah, you get mites, you get the disease. Half of the collection crashes, and it's a
mhm.
big loss. Like work your projects. Let's do this correctly. So maybe next year we want to get a microscope so we can do the analysis and check if there are parasites, anything. Just control the collection. It's not
Yeah, that'd be
expensive.
like a relatively cheap way
Uh,
to do a
get
fecal float.
from China some how do you call the ultrasound or something just for fun, just to see what's happening with the
Yeah,
female.
ultrasounds are awesome. Even if you're
So
like don't have that many snakes, they still feel like they're worth it because you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on right now. I'm not like
Look,
surprised.
first couple of years, I got 4 clutches out of 4. Come on, I'm a champion. I got this. I talked with the bow guy that was on the video, the Hare from Constrictor's Craft, and he has 2 decades of this stuff of bow breeding, of
Mhm.
hundreds of them, or I don't know how many clutches he does, 50 or 100 of them. And I was talking with him. I did videos on keeping the snakes on the YouTube channel. Got a playlist for that. The basic stuff, husbandry conditions. I never made about breeding.
Mhm.
So that's okay. Let me get a few years of experience and figure out how this is. Then I can talk uh,
Mhm.
what I think of how it is. There are better videos out there, so I got no issues with that. So maybe with Olga we would do the keeping in Russian. Just she would the script is written. Just I did it in English, and we want to do it in Russian.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
First time customer, or watch these videos. Everything is there. You have a question, then ask.
Yeah, we did run
Help on
a
sales.
little bit earlier, but if you have any other weird stories,
Mm.
go ahead.
Yeah, the
Except
import. You
for
want to go through the statistics of the collection?
yeah, let's
We
do
could.
that since we're sort
Yeah,
of
we will 1 hour
winding
or
down a
so.
little bit.
Oh my gosh.
It's been fun.
All right, so I'm totally open. So I bought the stuff, and there's more Excel pages behind these pretty pie charts. So pretty much I divide these in a very simple way. So I don't go technical with capex and copex. They are fixed costs and operational costs, right? When you buy a car, it's a fixed cost. When you have to change the tires, fill up the petrol tank, that's an operational cost. Go for service, right? I buy the snakes. I buy the tools, I buy the rack. It's a fixed cost, and I do
Mhm.
the 3-year business plan. Another bullshit reference for you guys. My 3-year business plan is like 7 or 8, more like.
Yeah, me
no,
too. Me too.
no, it takes 3 years to grow the female on average. There are people who do it on the first clutch on second year. No, but on average, right?
Mhm.
Um, And then the operational costs, it's the substrates. I put like $10 for water and electricity. I did an estimate a few years ago. It's not expensive, and it's pretty much the rodent bill. So here, number of clutches. I think it's 16. I forgot to update that one. Doesn't matter. And we have an average cost of 75 bucks per egg. So I
For the
wanted to know
first
that.
year.
No, general. The statistics here is the general,
Okay.
the whole thing.
Okay.
So I'm being I have other numbers there that
Are
just for my
yearly
curiosity,
specific.
I want to correlate the time of incubation with the until they hatch with the temperature. So we know that lower temperature, the biochemical reactions go a bit slow. It takes a
Mhm.
little bit more. Rule of thumb: 1 degree Celsius lower, that's 2 Fahrenheit. Lower, it takes an extra 5 or 6 days, something like that, to hatch
Mhm.
them. So we know how it works. I spent like 20 grand. That's the at the bottom, the red cell. It's almost 21,000 bucks on this on these, and I made 3/4 of the money back.
That's
Um,
pretty good.
wait, I made them. I counted the other day, and
You're
it
back.
is what it is. The snakes are the adults. They are healthy. They are eating. I made mistakes in incubation.
Oh no.
A
Yeah,
couple
we
of
all
years
do.
ago, out of 4 clutches, there were 2 clutches. Each one has its story. Like 2 clutches of 8 eggs. They were sometimes I make mistakes. Okay, so it's it happened. So I lost like 30 snakes. I counted. Oh my gosh, it's
Oh
30
no.
snakes. It's a bit on a. Now I got good incubator. We built the incubator out of a little, how do you call the mini fridge. I have a wine cooler and I have a mini fridge for can make half a dozen clutches. And I put a good thermostat. I invested on the thermostat and a big fan. So I found, and I hear, for instance, I hear from YouTubers, it's little bits and pieces here and there. I'm trying to put the story together, the little pieces
Mhm.
of the puzzle. We need good circulation, good turbulence around the boxes, around the when we do artificial incubation. You remember? Do you remember that story from Bullshit? Sean had a fight with his girlfriend. He left the box of eggs on the table, on the metal table. Next day they had a show, and Tim came and saw world's first of this and that, and they were all dead, something like that. It was a heat dissipation issue. So you need turbulence around the egg box. Big breeders, they have the big incubators, like Austin says. We hatch more males or more females on the boxes on the top, and they hatch sooner, a couple days sooner, because heat rises. And they pack the incubator with boxes, as many boxes as you can. I think you should leave one row out and space them out a little bit more and let more circulation go. When do you notice condensation on the egg box, Jessica? I notice it around the second week after laying, and then 2 weeks before the hatch, like strong condensation.
Yeah, they really start to respire a lot at the end because
Why is that? Why does it form condensation inside the egg box? There's humidity there, and the egg box is closed. Okay.
Because it's heating up. It's hotter on the inside.
Like in the kitchen. It's winter. I'm cooking rice. There's steam. There's water vapor, and the window gets all foggy. It's hotter inside and colder outside. So the surface of the glass is cold, and the water condenses. So how is the egg box hotter? I'm thinking of this. How is the inside of the egg box hotter than the outside, where I have the probe and the little independent thermometer? These are live animals. Are they the biochemical reactions of development of the embryo? Can they be at some points more exothermal than endothermal? Does it happen?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I run my incubators cold. It's colder than other people, like 88. Because the inside of the box at the end will be 90, no matter what you do.
The last couple of weeks, it warms up, inside,
So mine will pip at day 86 or 87. No, sorry, 56 or 57. Not
I got
day
60,
52.
Whatever I have here. Incubation day 62. Oh, okay. So I'm around that. So, all right. So that's it.
Yeah.
And, the investment is 50-50 on the ball pythons and on the infrastructure. That's what we get from this graphic. That's how much I'm losing.
But you're having fun.
So that is the total. So I have a whole bunch of individual graphics like this for each clutch. Oh my gosh, this is the red stripe to the clown because I'm original. I didn't want to pay 4 years ago $2,000 for a red stripe head clown or 6,000 for a magma or whatever it was. So I put in the time. I have that. Amelie is gonna beat me to this one. So yeah, and now the price dropped brutally. So
wild. It's
okay. So what do we want to see from here? So on the top right corner, I believe the 28%, the light blue, it's the cost of the female. She was $300. The male was $200. Bottom on red, and then there's a couple more things. I do the fixed cost. I do their price divided by the 3-year business plan. So out of the $300, only counts $100. That's the 28%. I divide the investment on 3 years. I'm trying to recover the investment in 3 years of breeding. Let's see if we can do it. So that's the basis. And the rec the same. So it was a rec of 10. It's a male and a female. So rec cost, let's round this up, $300. So 10 snakes. So each snake is $30. Male and female, $60. Divide by 3 years. So that's like paying rent, $30 of rent that I invested. If you guys, in the other YouTubers, that are other friends of yours, they invested in higher end snakes of $2,000-$3,000, and they have a ARS or Freedom Breeder that costs what, $3 or $4 as well. I think if you do the math, you're gonna have around the same $30 or $40 of of costing of housing a snake in the rec. Freedom Breeder can take what, 30 snakes, something like that. Depends.
For the 70 series, I think.
So it's gonna be the same. It doesn't pay off for me to import a Freedom Breeder from the United States or LP from Europe to put $200 snakes in there. So,
Mhm.
or if I want, if it's my dream, I can do it. But we try to level it. What range of snakes we're dealing with, and what's the best that we can buy to make them comfortable and keep the snakes okay. So
Is there some sort of, I don't know, ROI sweet spot where like
yeah, that's what I'm trying to
uh,
to say. Well done.
yeah, I think about that a lot. Like maybe that's why people will like bulk breed pieds and bulk breed bells. It's because it's like doesn't cost that much to get in. You can sell them for an okay amount,
And they
and
always
then
sell. Yeah,
they
it's
always sell. Just like if for me, I took 4 or 5 pieds the last show and sold zero of them, and I'm like,
mm,
what the?
send them here. No, it's too much now. It's too difficult. It will take like a month. We don't want to do it on the animals.
Right.
So, sorry about the joke. So, and then before the rodent bill, we see it's on the. Can you go back?
Yeah.
It's 29%. So the female can take like per year $100 of rodents cost. The male less because the male is eating less. They get to the breeding stage. They skip a few meals. I'm okay with that. And the female needs to build up the nutrient reserve. So we can see the price, the cost of the snake, and the rodent bill. Yeah, this one is pretty well balanced. That's probably why I sent you this one. Yeah. So it varies a little bit depending on the pairing. Snake is more expensive. I have a racist snake that only eats live mice, and so I bought. So to get 100 grams, you have to feed 5 of those. Come on, it cost me 5 times
Right.
more than a
Right.
frozen small red or or medium red. So so
Are your
those
frozen
clutches,
cheaper than your live, or are they about the same?
frozen, yeah, like half the price
Hmm.
at the shop. When we go directly to the breeder, it's pretty much the same. So we can, but I have to drive 1 hour out of the city. In the summer, it's okay. I go on the motorbike in Saturday morning. It's a nice bike ride. In the winter,
Not so
yeah.
much.
So everybody tries to figure it out as they can.
All right.
On
Next
the
slide.
Yep.
Okay.
That was not the next, but doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry.
No, there was another one, but I don't want to talk about it. It was the depreciation of the whole investment. I had a discipline, some semester in uni. We talked about it. Okay, let's go for this one. So here, I'd like to focus on the third season. So at the bottom, the table at the bottom, I should have clipped it just
Just
to
the
make it
bottom one.
bigger. So on columns, we have the clutches. You see first, second, third. Now on the line, we want to see the red, where it is red, expenses, somewhere around here. So first clutch cost me $515 to produce, right? The total. And then on the green, it's the sales. And then on gray, the profit. Then we follow to the end and we see I spent $2,000 on making those clutches happen, and on sales I made $6,000 or €6,000 on sales. So that's 4 grand of profit almost. So almost 200% of a. So that was a cool year.
Yeah. Good job.
Now, yeah, so you see the previous year, like there are two clutches that had a bit of a, how do you say, slug, dead eggs, screw ups, stuff like that. So I screwed up a little bit on those ones. So
Do you think your racks will last longer than 3 years though, or you'll want to use them?
the others I had were 5 years and they were still good. We sold them. Yeah, it's the wood. How do you call the wood rack? The melamine
Right.
rack.
So
After
your
10 years, 10 years, you give it a little
right.
notch.
Your expenses will go way down after the 3 year point because you've already sort of
Yeah, but out of these 4,000 bucks of profit, it's not that I had 4,000 to spend. They were continuously going to rodent bill to buy more snakes. Then we invested on the rack, so it's the money stays in the hobby. It
Do
seems
you
like not
include the
getting
like carrying cost of the babies, feeding the babies in this
no, that is
expense?
out.
Okay.
Yeah, that we take the cost on ourselves. It can be half a dozen mice. It can get to little rats. Can be a few months. We don't mind that. So and I don't put labor. When I before it was a 75. And this year as well, cost per egg $75. Coincidence.
Right here.
I don't put labor. I did an estimate a few years ago, and it was like $20 of labor to if I was paying somebody or valuing my work as in minimum salary. So I would say $100 per egg. For
I get.
instance, say.
Oh, I was like, it's fine. Like that. I think that number's high because you're including sort of amortizing the cost of the.
The snake hood, the temp gun, everything goes in there. Yeah, the terrariums, the
Right.
racks.
So that's why it's high, but it's not really high. It's a fair valuation. Because some people are like, "Well, I bought the parrots for $5 and the dad for $3, and so I just need to make $8." And so
What about
they
$100
don't
a
value any
year?
of the
Yeah,
other parts
$100 a
of.
year of feeding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Antoine Hoods also said it cost me $150 or something like that per year to feed a female to grow. So that's a good average. Now, if you're going to have high-end snakes and Freedom Breeder X or ARS, your cost of production is going to be higher, but you're
Mhm.
not going to be making $200 snakes. That's what you sell on wholesale. You're going to
Mhm.
be making 2, 3, 4,000 buck combos with the cool stuff. So, for
So-
instance, I have a story. A friend of ours. So this is January of 2020. Little did we know, he asked me should he was importing stuff from Europe a couple times a year, and he asked me, should I keep doing this or should I build my facility and breed them? I thought about it, mate. Come on, just, you're gonna these rooms are full. You're gonna have to build new racks on the other room, and he's not gonna do it small like me. He's gonna get 100 or 200 of them.
uh-huh.
Either raise the babies, get them wholesale and raise them, or go to morph markets and get all the adults and semi-adults, the low end stuff, double, triple combos, and they're like $100. You can get adults, incomplete dominant morphs combos for cheap, and that works in the Russian market. And I thought, well, you're gonna have to set it up. You're gonna work more and pay your employee to work more hours on these, and you're gonna get the same numbers that I was getting at the time. You're gonna get between 50 to $100 per egg
Mhm.
cost of production. Let's say $100, and you're gonna sell them for whatever it is, 150, $200, depends on the odds. Look, what you're doing is the buying the a lot of 100 for $30, pay 10 more bucks per egg, uh, for investing four grand, and you make 8 or 10 grand. Let the European breeder take the loss because they already recovered the money with the high end combos, the better
Mhm.
combos, or the visual recessions. The Many times they don't say if it's post het or not. So these are the wholesales that come into the Russian market that has a
Mhm.
demand for it. So you let the European breeder take the loss on those snakes. They're happy to get a hundred little hungry mouse out of their facility. Okay, there's a need on this market. Continue doing it. Beginning of 2020, little did we know, he would have been in a very very good position now also as a
Yeah.
competitor. So we cannot guess this stuff. The Sorry, but
It's all right. Jake asked like a quick question: what type of rats or rodents are used in the
ah,
hobby in
so
Russia?
we have the what do you call it, the Norwegian rat. We have other people doing breedings with rats. They are spotted and, how do you say, brown or black, or with this creamy color or so. But I like the white ones. They are what, they are albino. They have red
Mhm.
eyes, all white. Yeah, so
So
I
you're
don't
just
mind.
like
They are
the
spotted.
regular lab rat species. Do you have ASFs?
Yes, I thought about it from a YouTube influence of all the benefits from ISF. Everybody's converting, and then I'm like, it's breeders are not, the infrastructure is not ready for it. And then if their collection crashes, what do my snakes eat if they don't
Right.
want the previous ones? Yeah, right. So I'm okay. I get the occasional slug every other, or no veins every other clutch. So it's a risk. It's okay. I understand. It's weighing the pros and cons. I go with the market. What the market offers. There's safety in that. So ASF, it's still not well established. There are some people doing it. Some people don't like to breed it for whichever reason, or are not successful. But in large production, it's a bit I don't want to risk it. But yeah,
Yeah, I think ASFs are fine, but I
or
don't get
mice.
the hype or whatever. They're just fine. They're just another tool in the toolbox. Like they're
Yep.
not way better to me. They're just fine.
And I don't want to breed them. We live in a small apartment in the, how do you call it, the balcony in the kitchen. No, it would stink up the whole house, and there's not a heat ups. It's cold in the winter; they would freeze to death. It's too hot in the summer; they would suffer from heat exhaustion. So I don't mind paying someone else to do it for me. It's
What
one of
kind
those
of rodent food do you feed, or do
the
producers
rest.
feed?
That's a good question, mate. That's a good question. I don't know. We kind of know it's the whichever Russian brand. It's the seeds and there is protein. I don't know the quality. I cannot. They are good. They are healthy. Snakes have been laying clutches. Babies have 60, 70 grams average of weight. It's nothing extraordinary. Some clutches a bit bigger, others smaller. But in terms of quality, we don't have the what is the good one, the Missouri. You guys
Missouri?
have like the best one, or there was
Yeah,
someone else doing their own brand, or yeah, we don't have that. It's
yeah. All you like if you have, I mean, you have a huge grain belt. All you really need is a huge grain belt, and then you can have them processed into pellets, basically with a certain.
hey, let's take this slow, okay? We're starting this hobby. I think we're doing good. We're developing the infrastructure. We have a long way to go. We have you guys to cut through the bush with the machete or the katana and figure out what the problems. So then we'll go just behind you guys.
All right,
So
we're working on it. It's hard.
all right. So we had here the a little bit. Yeah, those 2 years were not bad in terms of sales. So that's
Is
for instance.
this year or last year?
Third, we did the fourth, we're going for the fifth next year. So I bothered my friends with these and they would look, okay, the numbers and stuff. I was like, okay, no, not interested. I was like, and Olga was saying, stop bothering them. They don't care. I understand. This is very American capitalist kind of attitude to have. They're doing the same. They're chasing the money. The combos are cooler. But if you think they are pretty, go do colubrids. Milk snakes are amazing. Go do milk snakes. Come on, mate. I think they're super pretty. No,
Yeah,
we are chasing the money. I'm part of it. It's a hobby. It's a hobby for me. And I'm doing like a business. Come on, look at this table. So I'm trying not to be a hypocrite here.
yeah. I mean, it's
Uh,
kind of capitalist, but it's just about like
yeah,
efficiency, tracking. It
yeah.
doesn't even necessarily have to be a business. Don't you just want to like
I
check
want to know how much
stuff?
I'm losing. Okay, I know exactly how much I'm like 3, 4, 5% error because the currency changes. There's a little bit of an error here or there, but it's pretty much that. And then I found a friend. Again, Harry, the boa guy. I was telling him at the show, and I could see the smile growing on his face. And I was like, "Yes, I found my friend, someone who understands me. I know, I should be doing this, but I'm too lazy." But he knows he's doing okay. He knows when he has a good year or not so good or better year. So, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see labor cost on the chart. Yes, I know. I omitted it. It's around $20. Let's put it like that. I pay myself low.
Mhm.
It's not skilled labor. Like I'm the sheet cleaner and tub cleaner. Olga is the marketing and sales director. She does the intellectual work. So
Good job.
it's
That's
not
how.
difficult for me.
So like I would love some sort of division of labor with my husband like that when we retire, but I think he'd be the worst marketing person because every time I ask him a question about somebody where it's like a dubious like situation, he's like, just tell him to fuck off. And I'm
Uh,
like,
now Olga, she's been growing. The first year she listened. Then the second year she wanted to buy some snakes. So it's the stuff that we have now starting to lay or growing up for next year. She
Mhm,
took the collection in her direction. It's cool. And then okay, you do the sales. I'm a bit rough on the sales,
mhm.
mate. I cannot sell you today. Done. No, there are nice ways
Right, you
of
got to
saying
butter him
things.
up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a bit too rough. Life is tough, man. And you're in Russia, but always much more delicate on this. So I phone rings. I just give it to her. Hey, we have a message. You want to
All
deal
right,
with it or
good.
not? So and yeah, so the culture is not so much of money here. It's not polite to talk about it, but we're doing the same. We're,
Is that
And
be
I got some snakes from Europe, a big part of the collection from 2018-19. I got at European prices. I didn't buy them at twice the price, the same combos in
Mhm.
Russia. So that helped.
Yeah, hopefully, everything in the world will be happier soon, and then you know you can start
Yep.
getting new prices again. Is
Ah,
this
all
your
right.
sex ratio?
Another silly graphic. You know the how they say the buy your females. So I follow that. Um, and you can do projects like I'll use this beautiful bastard here, BBM. So he has this. He was working on double recessives, and he got the fruit of his labor this year. I'm very happy for him. But you're working double and triple recessives. You need like a 1.3, 2.5, right?
Hmm.
So those males are specifically for those females. It's a project of another nature, right?
Hmm.
All right. But now when you're doing, I don't know, whatever the normal, the standard stuff, I want to keep track. And these numbers fluctuate a little bit when we buy, sell some, but we got one male pretty much. That's what we read. One male per two females.
Hmm.
Maybe in the future it will go 1 to 3. I think even without ultrasound, the males are growing. They're kilo and a half, almost 2 kilos. So they're strong. They can go a couple months without eating. I'm not worried. Then when they want to eat, we beefing them up. So it's so far so good. So each male has been working a couple females per year. A couple of them were without a job. Sorry, we're not socialists here. We don't give an employment benefit. So you're out.
How often do you turn over your males in this?
No, we sold three. There was one we had the sun, then we had a clown. I bought the clown for the head stripe because I thought I would hatch a clown. I didn't, so I had to buy one. Okay, so it was in a group of four. Okay, I don't need a second. How do you say double? s- Like in football, you get another one coming in. I don't
Like a backup?
backup. That's sorry. That's it. I don't need a second or third backup. For instance, I got a story here. There was a friend of ours. I did he did a video of his whole collection, and okay, I got the whole list of the stuff. I did the work on this pro bono, and then I texted him, mate, you have 60 something percent of males, just pay attention. the, I'll tell you the name later. It is no, but it's no problem. I wanted this morph, I bought it. This one was very pretty, I bought it, and I was not paying attention to the sex. Okay, it happens. Couple months later, he made a video. I sold a couple males, bought these other two females. Let's check them out. It's like okay, now it balanced 50-50. All right, so
Getting better.
I chose this number, one male per two females. I chose it. It seems to be working. The it's all right. Someone is lazy, or we just had an incompatibility issue. We had this new female. We got and she didn't want with that male. Okay, we put another male. He locked. She just didn't like that one. Okay, we changed the breeding plans. No
Mhm.
problem. It's just and yeah, that's not much more to say about this graphic. Just a little curiosity. All right, here that might be more interesting for you guys chasing how do you say higher end stuff, the people who are playing the game, the how do you say doing the 15 minutes of lame, they have pretty cool collections, or
Mhm. They
from
try.
the Billy Rose, his Patreon members, their series about it. Okay, so you might want to check this, and probably they will not have single morph snakes in their collections, most likely, or double combos. So the graphic is what it is. I have an average of a double combo, two morphs per snake. I have no problems with it. We can manage. There's a couple single morphs that can go in the future. Um, this like the in your market, a female, an adult female proven breeder can go for twice the price of a baby of the same equivalent.
Yeah.
How would you put it? Yeah.
I mean, like if it's a single morph, it might actually be
No,
almost the same price as a
no, no,
baby.
yeah, no. But the normal, like something you're replacing your female, your yellow belly pied with an orange dream cypress yellow belly pied or
Right. If
something.
she was
A
a
power
yellow
more
belly
powerful
pied
one.
adult female, she'd probably be double-ish. It
Like
depends
what,
on like
seven
how
hundred
hot the
bucks or eight
market.
hundred? I don't know.
I mean,
Okay.
ideally, the market's kind of shit.
No, but you get the point. So,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get twice the price for we got a couple of females that was like, yeah, we can move them in the future or something. I can get clutches of $1,000 out of them. We have this is nothing extraordinary, but you can, how do you say, people listening on to this podcast, they can translate this to their collection. Like I can get, or even like $700 of profit out of this clutch if I breed her and if she lays year after year, she can take a break. Why would I sell her for $400? Because they will lowball me. I know
Mhm.
they will. But the other guy is selling them for 350. Yeah, but I want $700 because
Well,
I can
maybe
get
you
a
run out of
thousand.
space. Like that's the answer,
Yeah,
right?
and yes, exactly. That's why we'll probably invest on a little bit more space, but it will get to a point that how many more clutches of cinnamons can I do, right?
Where all the male
This
cinnamons go.
they sell like cupcakes. The Russians are crazy for
All
cinnamons.
right,
I don't know
good. We
why.
should export all of our cinnamons.
Yeah, send me normal cinnamons. Uh, so I tracked this has been evolving. I can do a YouTube video and then go back to the old YouTube video from 2 years, 4 years ago, or something like that, and check how the collection is evolving. So you guys can do it and check it. Yeah, bro. But I prefer to keep the female, and I get better until I we love our little snakes, but the some I'm putting in my mind that someday I'll have to do it. It's how it
Mhm.
goes, or else I'll be stuck with the low end stuff. And I don't mind keeping them as a pet. Sorry, don't feed them as much and don't breed them, and
Mhm.
it's my pet. Nobody's business. So yeah, Ron is saying she has a female that lays big clutches of eggs. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. All right. Another silly graphic here. Ah, so this is the number of times I have pastel. I counted and then I put all the morphs. So I have a bit of a lesser and leopard going out through, and spot nose going through the collection. You guys can pause this and check later. So the big 150% blue is pastel. I wanted to ask you a couple things, Jessica.
Mhm.
W- I go to Morph Market on the list of morphs,
Mhm.
and we see, I don't know, clowns. There's a 2000 for sale, pies 2500, like a pasto 10,000. The not individual pasto morph snakes, but the pasto in combos.
Right.
That's the idea I have. Why is pastel in so many? So how do you say so prolific? Why do you think? Help me out here.
I think it's time in the market, so it was one of the first that
Yep.
was like very
Fine.
desirable, and
McCurley, Mr. McCurley, Mr. Graziani.
people did really like baby killer clowns a lot
Yep.
originally, and so like they're all over the place for that reason, and it does make a nice baby. And so if you put a pastel on a table versus a black pastel on a
Or a
table,
normal.
a,
Depends on the taste, but yeah,
yeah, but a
it
lot of
attracts.
like pet people are like, I want a
Yeah,
pastel.
yeah, it attracts. Yeah, they want the bright. Yeah.
So like
So
for that reason, yeah, I think it's only shit on because in clowns specifically, not puzzle or tri-stripe or desert ghost or hypo, it looks bad as an adult. That's the only thing I think that's going against it. But there are like people, buyers right now who will search for a morph and like exclude pastel lesser pin spider from it and don't even
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
yeah.
any
No,
combo with those in it.
I'm thinking a couple decades ago, people were going for the pinstripe, the spider. They were like what 20, 25 grand or
Mhm.
something, and the pastel was what 7. Correct me. This is the
I
idea
don't
I
know.
have. It was like 7 super pastel, maybe 10, 12,000. So it's easier for me to buy an army of normal adult females when they were like a dollar per gram, and I get a couple of pastels
Mhm.
or super pastels, and then I breed my pinstripe, my spider, my whatever the new morphs when they were playing the morph game on the craze days. So pastel gets, it's the lemon blast, the bumblebees, the first double combo. like GHI. I think the first combo done with GHI was Pastel, and it's a pretty snake. And you look like
Mhm.
here's a GHI, here's a Pastel GHI. Wow, amazing! That project takes off, and the morph gets, how do you say, stuck to the other morphs, and
Mhm.
so I think that's one explanation. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's largely fine. It's just everything has its like day in the sun, right? For a while. And then it'll go be like poo pooed on, and then it'll come back, and then it'll be poo
What
pooed
ab-
on.
what about your collection? What's the idea that you have? Is Pastel on top five? It's
Pastel.
every now and again you have Pastel in this combo, Pastel on that. What do you
Well, I
think?
have like pastel as like a legacy item from like early females that I bought. They were just big breeders, and I didn't necessarily want them or not want them. They were just there. And so I did keep some because they were Het Clown or Het Desert Ghost or
Yep.
whatever. But I don't doesn't hurt my feelings are there, but I don't necessarily want them there. But I'll specifically not breed certain animals to them. Like I don't like Cypress pastel clowns that much. It's pretty mid.
Yep.
So I wouldn't breed my Cypress Krypton to them. I would breed
Yeah, some
the
combos
my
doesn't work. Yeah.
yeah, I'd breed the Ultramel Cryptic to them because I like Ultramel pastels pretty good. So like having pastel in that lineage is fine to me. So that's how I do it. But I didn't wake up one morning like fuck it, I'm getting rid of all the pastel.
No, I'm okay. Look, I'm gonna say this. You guys can laugh, no problem. You guys' collections are starting to look like mine. Okay, I have we have a pastel leopard, pastel spot nose, pastel GHI, pastel asphalt, and I think they're pretty. Just
Mhm.
ours are not double heads or triple heads because you guys are working the multi recessive.
Right.
But you gotta work, so you're going back to that visual form. But yours have more potential. I did
Yeah, it
this
is
for a
funny
couple of
because
people.
like you end up getting like a more boring looking collection for a couple years.
I like looking at them. They're pretty. Ooh, a friend comes home and sees the. I have this trick. Okay, I show them these and they understand it's a black and yellow snake or black and orange. Then I show them the albino. They get it. Ah, okay, recessive. We explain the recessive, lack of black pigment. Then we go for the blue-eyed leucistic, and they're smiling and the eyes are sparkling. Then we pull out the pied and face goes blank. They cannot comprehend, but it's white, but it has pattern. It's just buffering. All right. So I wanted to say, so we got a comment comparable to hypo in boas. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Um,
hypo too, but I try not to keep super hypo boas because I don't want hypo in every possible offspring of that animal. It's like too much for sales purposes. So like that makes sense.
for instance, I did this for a couple of friends. For a friend here, I did it for Ron and Predator BP, and it came the exact same thing. Pastel is the most prolific morph. It just happens to be in the combo. It's the
Mhm.
odd gods just send pastel left and right. So
Yeah,
the
and my personal tastes are I like the darker morphs better, but I having now sold ball pythons at different shows, it doesn't matter that I like blackhead.
yeah.
People look at a blackhead like it's a normal, like normal pet people. They look at your table, a blackhead looks like a
Yeah.
$20 normal to their
Ah,
eyeball, and they do not
it's
care.
like you gotta. I thought about it. You gotta have like four factors. It's like four waves that have to come in sync. You
Mhm,
gotta have the right snake for the right person at the right time at the right price,
mhm.
and when all that gets together, you got yourself a sale. So yeah, it's sometimes a matter of waiting a little bit for the right customer and finding the price point.
Mhm.
I got the story here. I know a guy that knows the guy who did it. You know that BBM's computer was hacked a couple times, right?
No, I
In the
don't know
past.
that.
So the
That's
first time it's
terrible.
you talk with him. The second time, I know who did it. It's I know a guy that knows the guy who did it, a Russian hacker. Um,
Are you serious?
and yeah, and his breeding plans. It was like 3 years ago or something. His breeding plans were changed. This is the level of evilness on the minds of these bloody Russians. He changed the breeding plans. Ron didn't notice, and he hatched a whole bunch of normals and no visual recesses. It was a total
Oh
catastrophe.
no.
And the curious thing, look at the level of this. The curious thing, the computer was hacked, but the breeding plans are on Ron's head, are on his mind, and he has the feeding card on paper. So how did the
How did
computer
this
build
happen?
nanobots to go and build
They
wings
changed
and
his brain.
fly, enter Ron's brain, and infect his mind? Mate, that what? No, I did this for for Ron as well. I got access to
Ah,
his collection. Now it's much better. Now it changed. I've been talking to him, and it's progressing well. So it's cool to keep track this kind of stuff, how it goes. Can we go to the next? I think we're almost done with
yeah.
this. Year of birth. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's not much to say. Oh my gosh. So then we have some older snakes. We bought a couple of sub adults and an adult, and it's good to raise your babies.
Mhm.
We hold them, they get used to us, they learn our routine and our, how do you say, handling, and they are
Mhm.
super chilled. All the ones we raised from an early age, I like them. Some of the others we got as sub adults or something, they're a bit hissy. They
Mhm.
tolerate us, but
They don't necessarily like you.
yeah. Came from big breeders. It was once a week, open the tub, change water bowl, or throw a
Like
rat in
that's
there.
it.
Yeah, but
Wow.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I think the future is going to be fun because yes, we're all sitting on normals or pastel doublehead ultra clowns or whatever. But how crazy is it going to be in 3 years, 10 years, whatever? And then because then we have to go back and work on getting better genes into them and buying the 5 gene female that an incomplete dominant breeder hits to quickly get those into a double or triple project because otherwise it'll take a long time just getting them in there one at a time.
yeah, so here sometimes we people can have a multi combo that would be a higher value, but people don't understand why is this snake so expensive. Looks like the other, yeah, because yeah, you can trick me. No, I'm not gonna breed it. Yeah, you're gonna get like 5 or 6 more for low price, man. I'm giving away. So we're struggling here in Russia. There is a talk of a guy who wants to do morph market, like a Russian morph market,
Mm-hmm.
which is not difficult. You get you pay some guy, IT guy, to do it. But there's a problem. Who's gonna? How is it gonna be paid for? It's
Right.
like market, the breeder pays, or from ads? Because we got the Russian knockoff of Facebook. I got
Mm-hmm.
free ads, free advertising there. I just joined the group and publish, follow the rules.
Right.
So so how do we level the prices between us? So we're
Yeah, it is
like
hard.
making a who's arc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right, who's gonna be the treasurer? Who's gonna keep the money? We know those stories. Come on, people. We know
Yeah.
how it goes. Oh, I bought the new Mercedes. How the hell did you buy a Mercedes, mate? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's all in some ways. I think morph market was and still is good for the U.S. reptile and amphibian keeping hobby as like a relatively centralized repository for morph info. But in other like very interesting ways, it's also like confusing people because I think people think because stuff's listed on morph market for one price that's the real like
But
retail value. I don't think it is anymore because I run an auction, right? So like I know what someone will pay for it right at that moment. And a lot of times the auction wins have predicted price falls on morph market like a month later because no one was buying it for $300. Nobody. And so
it
then
was
so
200 or
right. So the auction is like that found a fair market value at that moment. And that was actually like a
okay.
better predictor of what fair market value was. So like there's a lot of like
No, that's
tension
good.
in the
Yeah,
market.
you're going on a marathon with the auctions and the podcasts this week, and you have an auction next week or something.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
weekend.
you're going strong on this. Good job.
Yeah,
Uh,
so like uh
I remember Will Banks when it was the ring. What was it? The reptile ring or something?
yeah.
Saying that this was what 10 years ago or something. I don't know, almost. Sometimes they would sell for higher than what they wanted, what they expected, in the auction before morph market went. It's like, okay, the it can go both ways on the auction, depends on the if we are on a high or a low in the market.
Yeah,
But it's
usually
good
it's animals that are cheap that will go for higher than you expect, in my opinion. And that's because you are maybe like, man, this is so not breedable, but to
uh,
someone it is breedable. And they're like, yeah, I'll spend $200 on that, whatever. And you're like,
before there was no morph market, but now there is, so auctions can work different way. If it is in a if the snake is in an auction, it's because it didn't sell quickly on morph market, and it's on this price range.
sometimes I just don't want to deal with people on Morph Market.
Okay.
So I'll
Ah,
just take the
yeah,
L on
yeah, or
pricing
on the
to be
or on
have
the
like
shows.
a
Yeah,
convenient way to move 20 snakes.
what you
And
said about the shows, not doing the show and just sell on the auction. You're more comfortable, less expenses. You can take a
mhm,
little bit off on the snake, like 10%. Easily.
absolutely. That's how
Good.
I'm feeling about it. Like, and I've taken snakes to the reptile show 5 times, 5 different shows. And I've been like playing with the price and like playing with the presentation. And I'm like, well, my buyer's just not at my shows for this animal, but my
Yep.
buyer's probably somewhere on the internet, and I could put it on Morph
At
Market and
some other state, yeah, there's somewhere else. Yeah.
deal with 100 messages. But really, what if I just found a buyer right now and the price was 120, and I would just be happy with that, and I am
Right.
happy.
It's a good tool. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't, it's just very interesting. We're still in a changing time. I don't think Morph Market's going away. So like, if you did have a consolidated Russian
We
listing
have
service.
auction. We have auctions in this platform, the Russian knockoff of Facebook, and geckos,
Mhm.
colubis for auctions. Yeah,
Like New
that
Caledonian
takes it.
geckos?
Yeah, the whole thing, the crested gecko, the leopard gecko. The gecko market goes up and then it goes down, and everybody complains, and we see that it's like, okay,
I
okay,
love all geckos. I think they're so
uh,
fun, but
cool.
they breed so fast, like in 1 year. So the ability for somebody to blast a million of them out is
Yep.
really strong. So they can crash a market like that.
Yeah, it's just faster cycle. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different nature. What
All
about
right.
carpet pythons? Yeah, that takes that's a project, or those
Yeah.
other species that take 5 years to mature the female. Well, work on it. That's be
Yeah, that's
patient.
like, to me, that's like investing in a bond or whatever. So
Yeah,
something
and,
long, low, and slow,
and you
but
can
like,
ask a higher price. Yeah,
right.
it.
That's how I treat boas. Like, I have a lot of boas, a lot. Like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, something like that. And I don't show them off that
Okay,
much, but they're
okay.
just like, burning in the background, growing, slowly living, breeding, and they're much easier to sell because they're rarer, just rarer in
Yeah,
general. But I don't worry about them too much because you like set and forget. You got to grow them up.
yeah.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, NPC. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I think we had a great time. Hopefully, you come back, every once in a while, whenever you have some fun happens.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Was we I was expecting 1 hour. We went overboard with it. No, it's all right.
I know we do. That's all right. We were having fun. Hopefully,
Basically,
people get something
it's
out
gonna
of
be.
it.
It's gonna it's half. No, it's not 11:30. It's 1:30 almost.
Oh,
It's all right.
Lord, go to bed.
No, I gotta get ready for tomorrow. I don't want to fall asleep at midnight like Cinderella. Tomorrow's the big night. Come on.
Are you going to party?
Yeah, we're gonna go somewhere with some friends.
All right,
Yeah, we're
cool.
gonna do the New Year's before you guys. So
Yeah, I don't party.
we're further east.
All right. Peter, thank you very much. Chat, thank you very much.
See ya.
See
And
y'all
Ron,
later.
you owe me that Basti Latina señorita. I'm done.
Watch out, you're going to get hit again. All right, everybody. Bye.